not anti or pro-vaccine. NFL news in the wake of Raiders coach John Gruden resigning following the release of his controversial comments in private emails. Team owner Mark Davis made his first public comments, only saying about the situation, quote, "Ask the NFL. They have all the answers," end quote. Night 2 in the NHL saw the Capitals beat the Rangers 5-1. Washington future Hall of Famer Alexander Ovechkin 2 goals, giving him 732 in his career and moving him into 5th on the all-time goal-scoring list. Avalanche beat the Blackhawks 4-2. Was the Maple Leafs edging the Canadiens 2-1. Oilers get by the Canucks 3-2 in a shootout, and the Ducks down the Jets 4-1. I'm Eddie Garcia.
The following is a presentation of Steckline Communications and Sports Radio 1410 AM and 93.9 FM, KGSO. Sports talk at its best.
Down the middle, James, the lateral to the corner of the end zone. Can you believe that?
This is The Game Plan with Doug Downs and Mason Voth.
Live from our Seven Clans First Council Casino Hotel and Resort Studios, The Game Plan on Wichita Sports Station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM KGSO. Doug and Mason, we appreciate everybody being a part of the show right off the bat here. You can log online, watch the show, Facebook Live, Twitch.tv, Twitter, YouTube. That is the locations. Also listening at 1410 AM. 93.9 FM. A lot to get to here on this Thursday. A couple hours of The Game Plan. Then we turn things over for the final hour to the Glassman Collision Works pit crew. But a lot to get to here in these next couple of hours. Brent Kimnitz will join us at 7:40 this morning. Brent usually is on with us on Tuesdays, but scheduling things pushed him clear back to Thursday. Probably good because we've got quite a bit of college basketball news from yesterday that we'll dive into. Mason, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Good. Well, we got a lot to get to here this morning. Got some NFL stuff to talk about, some college football stuff to talk about. And as I mentioned, this is the time of year where we start getting more and more college basketball news. Most of it is preseason picks and conferences, preseason players of the year and conferences, all that kind of garbage. It's always kind of fun to watch that stuff and then see how it actually plays out. You know, like last year, Wichita State was picked, I think, preseason to finish 7th. They end up winning the conference championship.
But Wichita State was also scheduled to play 20 conference games. Last year they played like 12.
This year they return pretty much everybody, and they're picked to finish 4th. So it's just kind of crazy how that stuff works out.
I think that they are in a fair spot. They lost out on 3rd place by a vote to SMU. That's, I think, a lot of people kind of relying on SMU getting back on track and what their history is, but like you can't fault anybody for putting Houston at the top, and then Memphis right there with all the talent that they have should absolutely finish no lower than number 2 in this conference. And so then at that point you're splitting hairs between SMU and Wichita State, and SMU has the longer track history in the American Athletic Conference of being able to go out there and get the job done. So I didn't really think it was all that crazy. I would have probably had Wichita State 3rd just based off of how they're coming back from last year. But I don't think it's anything to be too terribly upset over. And what you end up getting there is probably a coach that is really in love with SMU and ranked them higher than maybe others did. So maybe you got somebody that thought SMU was going to finish 2nd in the conference or something this year.
I don't have a problem with Houston being 1. They went to a Final Four last year. I have a problem with Memphis and SMU being ahead of Wichita State at this point in time. Wichita State over the last couple of years has proven they're a better basketball team and program than both. I understand Memphis has recruited well and gotten a lot of great recruits. Penny Hardaway has proven he can't coach them, though. So I got to see something out of Memphis.
We've talked about this. Like I don't know.
I got to see something out of Memphis, and I got to see something out of SMU before I'm putting them ahead of Wichita State.
I think that Memphis has been slightly underwhelming under Penny Hardaway, but it hasn't been as bad as like you would think that it is. It comes off as not
the players
being,
he's had. He should have won conference championships.
Well, kind of, but
by
I
now.
mean, they ended up having when they had James Wiseman, he played like 4 games for him, and then he was gone.
Then don't pay him. Don't pay him under the table.
It wasn't the pay. It was more so the relationship that he already had with him beforehand and how some of that worked out.
He gave him money. before he became the coach.
Yes, but look, I just think that he has gotten talent in there. Now, has all of it played at times? No. I'm of the belief that the Penny Hardaway thing hasn't been as bad as it seems, and I think everybody's ready to crush him.
He's had the talent to win the conference every year, and he hasn't done it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
if he had had a healthy James Wiseman in 2020, then maybe so. But I think your team changes in a big way when you lose the number one scholarship guy on your roster. I mean, he took over a team that didn't go to the postseason in Tubby Smith's last year. He got them to where they went to the NIT. The year after that, postseason got canceled. They were probably going to be NIT bound again. Last year, they win the NIT, COVID year. They played pretty solid basketball once they got into conference play, but I just don't know that we can really fully understand everything that went on last year. Like, that's Wichita State's going to have to prove themselves this year. That's why I don't have an issue with them being ranked fourth. They played, or seeded fourth. They played the least amount of conference games out of any team last year. They played 13 conference games last season. I don't know that we can get an accurate judge on that.
And most of them was because other teams couldn't get past their COVID protocols. Wichita State, I don't think canceled a game on their own last year.
No, outside of the first weekend of the season when they missed their tournament, they were fine. And look, good for them on getting through it, but it's just weird how the year worked out last year. They didn't play SMU at all. They ended up not getting to play Cincinnati a second time, who later in the year was starting to flip things around. They missed the second game with Memphis. So it's just tough to kind of grade what everybody was last season. And the talent level has been higher for Memphis since Penny Hardaway's gotten there, but now it's raised up even more, and it's going to be even better the year after. And so, yeah, he's got to prove it this year, but I think if you look at them on paper, Memphis should finish second in the American this year. There's not much of a question about it. And really, honestly, like, I don't know, I'd kind of like you to put the talent to use in a good way and make them finish first, because I think that if you have all that talent with everything Houston has lost and the way that they're going to have to recalibrate throughout the season, you may be able to get a team that slips up every once in a while.
Well, according to ESPN last year, Memphis finished second in recruiting. And where were they at in 2020? Like, I think they just had gotten into the top 25. So they've been in, the top 10, top 20. They were at 17 in 2020. So they've been in the top 25 and the top 10 now the last 2 years in a row in college basketball recruiting. You would think that they would be doing something with all that talent. But
yes, but I'm telling you this: if you go and you look at that class, so it would be the class of 2019 is essentially what you go to look at for the 2020 or the 2019-20 season. In that class, Memphis has a very high rating in it, but if you take James Wiseman out of the equation, then that changes things significantly for them. They still had a lot of talent there, and they still need to put it together. But also, I mean, some of that talent.
The Shockers lost 7 players and won the conference.
Talent's gone already.
From when the Greg Marshall era. So,
okay,
and they brought in an interim head coach.
But be honest about the guys that they lost. Like, they lose Greg Marshall and they lose players that, left for whatever reason. They've made themselves essentially a better team because of that. I think it was addition by subtraction there. But the talent that you have, it just changes when you lose guys. And so they lose Wiseman. Precious Achiuwa goes after 1 year to the NBA. So I get it. This is stuff that you have to anticipate when you're recruiting at such a high level. But I think it's been such a weird situation for them over the last 2 seasons where, all right, your guy goes down, COVID hits, and you're dealing with COVID last year, that I don't know that it's absolutely fair to grade Memphis based off of those results.
Everybody dealt with COVID. Everybody. It wasn't like
did,
Memphis
but
was the only team that
people dealt
dealt
with it in
COVID.
different ways. I mean, we're seeing it this year.
Well, then that's their problem that they couldn't put together.
But that's not basketball related.
It is basketball.
No, it's
well,
not.
It's not basketball related, but it's basketball related last year. It's the way basketball was played last year.
Yes, but I don't know that we can judge teams good or bad on how they handled COVID. Like, Wichita State's not going to catch a break.
I'll judge Memphis from the year before that when Penny Hardaway couldn't put together the talent that he had then to win a conference championship.
And again, what I'm saying, when the roster changes on you that much early on and you lose what's going to be a huge piece of you.
Exactly. Go ask Isaac Brown that. His roster changed bigger than probably anybody. after Greg Marshall left, before Greg Marshall got fired,
but
everybody was leaving.
But Isaac Brown had the entire year of knowing what that roster was going to be like. It's not like the James Wiseman situation where
he didn't get named head coach until
2-3 weeks in this.
Like
he was still
season.
on the staff. Like
it doesn't matter. It was still like
yes, it does.
Wichita State went through way more changes in the American than anybody.
I mean, yes, big picture they did, but what I'm trying to explain to you is they didn't lose anybody in the middle of the season. And what Memphis went through was 2 weeks into the year, they're told, hey, your best player, he's probably not going to play, and you waver back and forth for a little bit on if he's going to be able to go or not. You're finally told he's not able to, and at that point you've kind of fallen down a little bit. So, look, Memphis has underperformed, but I don't think that it's been this giant indictment to where people should be freaking out that they were named the number 2 team in the American and the coaches poll going into the season.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Oh, I think it should be a big indictment. I mean, you gave all the case, every scenario possible, Mason. Why, they have underachieved. I mean, this will be a make or break. Hey, I think if I was a Memphis alumni or a booster, if they don't win the conference championship and even make it to the second round of the tournament, Big Ten, you got to have him on the hot seat because look, this is where it defines what the definition of a coach that can rally players. Okay, you mentioned that Penny that Memphis lost their best player midseason, and you think offense, right? Okay, you recruit players. You don't put they put all their eggs in one basket for one player. They lived and died by that one player. Whereas Isaac Brown and Wichita State, okay, you're right. They didn't lose, but they had to go get a new identity, so to speak, right? And you didn't know from 1 week until he was named, officially the head coach. You didn't know 1 week from the next if Isaac Brown was still going to be running the show or if we're going to get a new guy in and, his new scheme, new formula. So, like last season, Wichita State completely overachieved, right? So, yeah, for them to be ahead of Wichita State, and you're right, they didn't lose. No, WSU didn't lose, any major players, but to, have them below Memphis, I think is, a little bit of a travesty.
Well, I think for me, and this is where I am, and sorry, Tyler Frazier, I know you're a Memphis grad, and this isn't just a big knock on Memphis as much as that it is a big knock on the fact that all we've heard about for 3 years now is Penny Hardaway and how great of a recruiter he is, and all these 4 stars he's bringing in, and all this great talent. Granted, he may have lost his best player, but guess what? He's brought in a lot of other talent, and all I've heard about is how bad the American Athletic Conference is. You'd think even if, he had brought in all this other talent, lost his best player, he could at least win the American Athletic Conference, but they haven't. And they haven't went to the NCAA tournament under Penny Hardaway. Memphis gets way too much credit than what I think they deserve until they go out and prove it. Now, this year, they may go out and win the conference. They very well could go out and win the conference, and if they do, I will get right on this show and say, congratulations, Memphis. You finally did what you were supposed to be doing a long time ago. But as of now, they have done nothing.
But that's not how you're supposed to judge a team. Like, those are all different teams than what this team is.
Wichita
Like,
State's
hold on,
way.
Mason. You're only as good as your last season, right?
not
You're
if
only
the
as
roster
good as the last game
changes.
you played.
I mean, I don't know how you can look at the roster
Okay,
that
but
Memphis has put together.
But Wichita State's
If you're
roster hadn't
being
changed,
hailed
and they
as
won the
this-
conference last year.
But what I'm telling you is Wichita State played the least amount of games than anybody in the conference last season.
That's
and
not
they
their
had,
fault. And here's
hey,
my take on that with the COVID protocol.
look. No, hey, it's absolutely
No.
not Wichita State's fault that they played the least amount of games. But it is a fact that they did play the least amount of games and that they missed a second game with Memphis, a team that they were embarrassed by on the road. They missed a second game with Cincinnati, who got stronger as the season went on after Cincinnati had their COVID troubles early in the season. They didn't play SMU either time. Those are 4 games right there of the ones that they missed that are crucial to telling us what a season of basketball looks like. Like, they were fortunate to have made it through with not having to play those again. And look, it worked out for them. It's not their fault that that's how it ended up working out. And they were the conference champion last year. They played great. They deserved everything that came their way last season.
But you can also say the same thing for those teams like Memphis and SMU. They didn't play Wichita State either those times. So who knows
you're
where,
right.
where
we don't know where it would have ended up. But I'm just saying
Memphis and SMU.
Yes,
You
but,
see what I mean?
but what I'm saying is, like, just because Wichita State won the conference last year, it doesn't necessarily mean quite as much. Like, I've said it all throughout football season, but if we go and look at the teams that had these magical seasons in the COVID year, Iowa State and Indiana are two of the best showcases of that right now. Well, Iowa State was a preseason top 10 team, and they're out of the top 25 right now. And Indiana, they got embarrassed game one, and they haven't been able to catch up since then. We have a lot of these teams where you had great seasons last year, good for you, but I don't know that since we're giving some passes to teams that were bad in the COVID year that we can necessarily judge your good year and say that that's what you were actually going to be. And that's where I stand on the basketball side.
Are we calling the Dodgers the World Series champs from last year?
The professional side of this is very different because they weren't missing games.
They missed 100 games last year.
But they played the season that they had in place. They did go out and play. The NBA found a way to finish their season both years. They weren't missing games like crazy. There's a different circumstance there because their protocols were better. They had the means to have themselves in a better situation. But what I'm saying, and people will look down on what the Dodgers did, and they're going to have to try and prove it this year. But you're in a situation where I just don't think it's fair to really be upset that Memphis was picked second when they've got all these number one guys coming into the program. And I do think that now you're going to get your first normal season. And if they underperform this year, then everything's fair game for Memphis.
Memphis has underperformed since Penny Hardaway's been there. It
but
has nothing to do with last year. They've underperformed since he's been there.
I've tried to explain to you.
Memphis has underperformed since Mario Chalmers hit a game winner in the tournament.
What I'm trying to explain about Memphis, though, is when you go through the first year after Tubby Smith, Penny Hardaway helped them improve. Then you get the good recruiting class in his second year. At the end of it is when COVID hits. The rest of the season's canceled. They were average during that process, but they went through a stretch where after a couple games, James Wiseman was ruled ineligible. And then they thought that they might get him back on January 12th. That didn't end up happening. And at that point, you probably have a lot of guys that kind of get down in the dumps. And look, that's a Penny Hardaway thing. He's got to help try and keep them engaged. But things change over the course of the season that really do mess with you. And I just don't know that things have been normal enough for Memphis to be judged to say it's outrageous that they were picked to finish second in the conference. I mean, obviously, the coaches think more highly of Memphis than you guys do because 3 of them gave first-place votes to Memphis.
Well, everybody has thought higher about Memphis than I have because they've proved nothing yet since Penny Hardaway's been there. Nothing.
Thank you.
And you can come up with all the excuses you want. The bottom line is everybody else played COVID basketball last year. Everybody else had people leave their teams. Wichita State had a barrage of people leave their teams right before Greg Marshall got fired.
I mean, yeah.
So, they left at the end of the season. It's not like it was just this exodus one day before practice started. I mean, everybody went through
with Greg Marshall, though.
Yeah, but look, I think that the Greg Marshall thing improved their situation. I mean, obviously, based off the way they played, like I think that was probably a little bit of a rallying cry for him. And I'm not trying to take anything. I'm not trying to take anything away from Wichita State last year. I'm just saying I don't think that it's fair to just be like, oh, Memphis, come on, what's going on here? I don't think it's fair that
you're giving Memphis as much credit as you are.
I'm not even giving them credit.
Nothing.
I'm telling them that they might be the second best team in the conference, and I don't think it's crazy. I think that it's right to say that.
I think it's crazy that they get that way. And look, preseason stuff is preseason stuff. It's for conversations like this. I think it's crazy that a conference can take a no matter what happened COVID-wise, because every team played under the same circumstances, they can take a team that returns everybody that just won the league championship and put them fourth over two teams, and I'll put SMU in there, that have proven nothing over the last couple of seasons. My whole thing on it is, if I would have been lining this thing out, if there would have been a vote here, I'm fine with Houston. They went to the Final Four. I'd put Wichita State at number 2, Memphis at 3, probably SMU at 4, and then move on from there. That's where I think the preseason should have been set.
This is how it works. Like, if you go back and look at the year after K-State and Texas Tech win the Big 12, Tech gets picked to finish 3rd, K-State gets picked to finish 9th. Well, Baylor hadn't proven anything yet. They were picked ahead of Tech. KU last year didn't prove anything, but they were picked ahead of Texas Tech. Why was that the case? Like in your boat, you want this to be like a golf, like a local
Wichita
golf
State
tournament.
returns everybody. Those teams didn't.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like they also added talent in there. Like Tech added talent into it. I think you have to judge it by a case-by-case thing. It can't be just this, hey, you won last year, so you should be number one again.
And I didn't say that. What I said was this team returns everybody that won the championship. If they would have lost 3 out of their 5 starters, different story. If they would have, they have the preseason player of the year, Tyson Etienne, on their team, according to the coaches. I mean, they've got everything going for them.
But I think what the coaches see is a team that played only 13 conference games last year, and they have some.
I don't think
they have some weaknesses that started to show through at the end of the season. I mean, the taste that should be left in everybody's mouth about Wichita State is when everybody else was getting back in the swing and healthy from COVID, they went down to the wire with South Florida, and they lost to Cincinnati, and then Drake handled them in the NCAA tournament. And so I think what the coaches see is they are a team that has some talent and can put things together, and they have one really spectacular player in Tyson Etienne, but they need to see more from Wichita State as opposed to now what they can combine with everything is, all right, we like Wichita State. We like some of the things they have coming back, but we think that with all the talent that Memphis has, that there's no way that this team can finish any lower than this point in the conference. And I think based off of the way that the polls end up working out, the fact that it was so strong in support of Memphis at second, it shouldn't be just this crazy thing that the coaches decided on to everybody. It's absolutely
crazy
fair
to me, David.
When your roster changes that much, when you add that much talent, when you add that much talent to your team, then your situation has drastically changed from the year prior as well. So I think that's why Memphis deserves the spot that they're in. And if they underperform, all right, so be it. But it's a preseason poll that you're looking at the teams based off their roster as it stands right now, and you say, hey, you know what? I think Memphis has the second best team in the league. And 3 of them thought that Memphis has the best team in the league.
Here's 2 things that I'll leave with this whole conversation. Thank God that they play the game on the court or the field and not on paper, because if they played it on paper, then Mason, you'd be 100%, probably 100% correct. And if come February or whenever the AAC tournament is, right, conference tournament, if Wichita State and Memphis are not playing for the conference championship, then all this conversation we just had was for nothing. But, hey, that was a good conversation this morning. You guys stay safe. God bless you guys, and have a good day.
All right, thanks, David. Appreciate it. And even if Memphis falls flat on their face again this year, next year it'll be the same thing. We'll talk about Memphis,
and as long as they have the talent,
about them being you can have all the talent you want, but if they suck when they get together, then which has been the case at this point.
If they finish below East Carolina in the standings, then yes, go for it. Like don't put them so high next year.
If you finish below East Carolina in the standings, then I don't know. Maybe you should fire your coach. And I'm not too sure that's not going to happen anyway, because Penny Hardaway has proven that he cannot coach as of yet. Back after this. Wichita Sports Station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM KGSO, and Seven Clans First Council Casino Hotel and Resort wants to give you a chance to win concert tickets to see Styx and ZZ Top. Listen to the game plan every Tuesday and Wednesday, where you can be the next 4-star. If you can identify the 4 stars, you will win tickets to either see Styx or ZZ Top. Coming to Seven Clans First Council Casino Hotel and Resort from Wichita Sports Station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM KGSO.
Hi, this is Blake Davis with Davis Liquor Outlet.
And this is Brian Davis, reminding you that the holidays will be here before we know it.
The Davis family has been serving families of South Central Kansas for over 40 years now.
As you're planning your family get-togethers, keep Davis Liquor Outlet in mind.
We offer everyday discounts on case, liquor, and wine.
On Tuesdays, save 10% on any liquor 750 ml.
Wednesdays, save 15% on craft and import beer.
And don't forget about Wine Day. Thursdays, save 20% on most wines.
Davis Liquor Outlet, each store independently owned and operated.
Excludes 31st and Meridian.
Truck, SUV, truck, SUV. That's the only choice you'll have to make, because where you buy it is easy. Rusty Eck Ford.
That's right. And at Rusty Eck Ford, again, you have options with their huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles available right now. What does certified mean to you? It means getting the price advantage of buying pre-owned with the security of a manufacturer-backed warranty, like Ford's, with up to 7 years and 100,000 miles. It means getting a vehicle that comes fully inspected. It means getting 24/7 roadside assistance and total peace of mind. Rusty Eck Ford is your #1 choice as your #1 certified pre-owned Ford dealer in Wichita.
So it's that simple, and there is no other choice. It's Rusty Eck Ford. If you don't come see us today, we can't save you any money. RustyEckFord.com.
Offers valid on select in-stock vehicles with approved credit plus tax and fees. Not all qualify. See dealer for details. Based on 5/20/21 sales. Offers expire month's end.
The warm summer heat can cause issues with your vehicle's glass.
Hey, glass man.
If not properly taken care of, that little chip can turn into a full-length crack.
Hey, glass man.
The Glassman can fill chips before it's too late, and if you do need a new windshield, you can count on the Glassman to take the time to do the proper calibrations your vehicle needs for all the safety features to work just like they did from the factory. Chips, cracked, or broken glass.
Hey, glass man.
The Glassman at HeyGlassman.com. For a clear view, call the Glassman crew.
Buying a car should be a fun, exciting process, but nobody dislikes anything more than walking on a car lot and feeling like you have a target painted on your back.
Come on, it's the best deal in town. You don't want to miss this.
Sign here, sign here.
If you're tired of hearing the same song and dance every time, come on down to Auto Infinity just north of Kellogg on West Street. They make it easy to find a gently used vehicle that you love without being harassed.
Give me your money.
You can find them on Car Gurus or by checking out their website at autoinfinityks.com.
Are you ready for a renovation in your landscape? Would you like to add trees, shrubs, or flowers? Do you need somebody that can help you deciding what to plant? Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061 for a free estimate. Professional Landscaping Services has experienced personnel and the right equipment to do the right job for you. We have over 35 years of experience providing quality work. Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061. We do what we say we'll do for you. Professional Landscaping Services, 832-0061. When something breaks down, Ag Auto LLC in Winfield and in Harper are there to work on your agriculture equipment. They can work on all brands and can get the job done in the shop or even help you in the field with their mobile field service. Plus, now is the time to start thinking about winter inspections on all of your ag equipment. Just call any of our trained technicians for an estimate today. They have extremely competitive pricing and can help with any of your needs. Ag Auto LLC. Call them in Winfield at 620-222-5831 or their Harper office at 620-916-2918.
KGSO Studio presented by Seven Clans Casino, Hotel and Resort. It pays to cross the line.
Back on the show, got a couple of segments left here in hour one. Weigh in 522-1410. Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. We'll get more into this discussion with Wichita State and the American Athletic Conference at 7:40 this morning when Brent Kimnitz joins us. So looking forward to having Brent on today. Tomorrow on the show, Gary Guzman from Mays is going to be with us about 6:40, and then we'll have our normal cast of characters with Trevor, Danny, and Mark Rogers. So looking forward to another exciting Friday show. Got a couple of football games tomorrow night. We'll bring you Bishop Carroll West on KGSO. Mason and Anthony will have Mays at Derby on KQAM. So a couple of big games. We'll get into more of that tomorrow as well. We were talking some college basketball. I guess I was a little bit surprised, and I understand that Remy Martin was a good player at Arizona State, but he has been noted as the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year from the Big 12. Of course, a member of the Kansas Jayhawks now. I guess a little bit shocked that you get a guy that's never played in the league that comes in and all of a sudden nabs that honor of being selected the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year.
I mean, he's probably the most talented guy in the league, so it makes sense, and I think that he's probably deserving of it. We'll see how he ends up looking with KU. I think it's a team that there's going to be a lot of guys that contribute. They're probably to the casual observer, to the fan that just walked into Walmart yesterday to buy their T-shirt for the season. You're probably not going to recognize some of the guys that are on the floor to start the year, but there are a lot of dudes that are going to be trying to score the basketball, and so you're probably going to have to bring your expectations for numbers down. just a little bit. I mean, KU ends up putting 3 guys on the preseason All Big 12 team, and Ochai Agbaji, Remy Martin, and David McCormick. And based off of that, you got a lot of others that can contribute. So KU is going to be loaded. Texas is going to be loaded this year. They've got a heck of a roster that, I mean, their second 5 guys that could go in for them are going to be legit competitors. So it'll be very fun to kind of go out and see how this goes down.
Yeah, Texas gets 1 on the preseason All Big 12 team. Kansas with 3. Baylor, would they end up with 1?
They get 1, yeah.
Yeah. And I think Texas Tech had a kid. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and of note also, Kendall Brown at Baylor was the preseason freshman of the year, and he spent last season at Sunrise Christian. So he got award nominees in the preseason. So we'll see how it plays out. They're going to release the preseason poll today, so that will come out at some point. Who knows when? But that means tomorrow we can also have speculation on what the Big 12 coaches got wrong or right.
Well, I would imagine it'll be interesting to see who they put at the top spot. Will they put Baylor or KU? I think probably KU this year. Baylor number 2. Texas will probably be somewhere around 3.
I could see Texas maybe being number 2. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see how it all shakes out. Whoever Mike Boynton votes for, that's who it should be. He's I think proven to be the best prognosticator out of the Big 12 coaches.
I think you're going to have KU, Texas, Baylor, maybe Oklahoma State, all that are going to be right there in that first group. And then you probably have a pretty good drop-off to the next group.
Yeah.
I don't know what Texas Tech's going to have with Chris Beard leaving.
I don't love Tech yet. That's a situation where I just kind of think with a new head coach and everything, and he's not coached before as the head man. He was the assistant for Tech.
West Virginia, I guess, could make some noise.
Yeah, West Virginia will be up there, I guess.
They'll be up there.
So it'll
I always
probably
forget about them because they're just so
it'll
far
probably
off the
come
beaten
down
path.
to them or Oklahoma State for the 4 spot. But after that, Oklahoma will probably be up there. They've got a new coach, Porter Moser's there now. So we'll see kind of how that ends up working out. But they got a couple of transfers, the Groves brothers in there from Eastern Washington who lit up KU last year. So we'll see what they end up being. But I think that they'll probably be right there. And then at that point, you go down and you're looking at TCU, Iowa State, K-State, and Tech, deciding out of those how you're going to place them around. My guess is that K-State finishes 8th, TCU 9th, and Iowa State 10th. I think Iowa State will be a unanimous last place.
So K-State then would be probably behind Tech.
Yeah.
At 7. Which
Yeah.
K-State's going to be interesting. They definitely improved their team through transfer portal and recruiting.
Yeah, they're better now. I think the attitude seems to be that they got enough of the right guys there now, and they feel good about where they're going to set up and how they're going to be able to play together as a team. So we'll see how that all ends up playing out. But
and we get to go through another year of hearing people whine about Bruce Weber.
Yeah, that'll happen no matter what the situation is.
And at the end of the year, Bruce Weber will be fine again.
There were people complaining the year they won the Big 12 that Bruce wasn't the right coach. And it's like, well, there have been some very frustrating years and frustrating times under Bruce Weber. But, if you look at it, if they get it flipped around this year, he'll have had 2 stretches now where he's won, and then 2 years where they're really bad, they bottom out, and then they kind of get back on top of the mountain and they're looking good again. And I think, honestly, this isn't me trying to be like K-State is small-timey guy, but if you look at what K-State was prior to Bob Huggins showing up, K-State hadn't played in the NCAA tournament in my lifetime. So I was 9 years old by the time that they finally did with Frank Martin as the head coach. And so they had stretches there where they weren't a very good team. And so the expectation of K-State making the NCAA tournament every year, I think they've built themselves into a program that should feel that way or should at least be competing at that level. And it should be a disappointment when they don't make it there. But when that does happen, I don't think it should be a burn it down immediately thing. I think it's something where Bruce Weber has shown that in the past he's been able to come in, do some damage, And if things hit the fan, which that can be a criticism, that's happened twice. I think his roster construction and personality understanding of some of the dudes on the team can be a little suspect at times, and that's what leads to these situations. But he's been able to build it back up. He built another conference champion, one that was actually able to dethrone KU, which is even more impactful with what you did. So we'll see how Bruce plays it out this year. If things are really negative this season, then you're probably you probably can't go forward next year with him. You're going to have to make some sort of change. But you got a pretty good schedule in front of you, so we'll probably know after the non-conference what they look like. I mean, they're going to get Arkansas in the non-con. They're going to get either Cincinnati or Illinois, Wichita State, Marquette, Nebraska. So they'll challenge themselves. Ole Miss will be all in there as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, Arkansas will give them a game. I don't know what Cincinnati's going to bring. Wichita State will give them a game. Nebraska might be better this year. I know they got a couple of pretty good recruits in. We'll see. But the non-con looks good on paper from the schools that you're bringing in. I just don't know if all those schools are going to be really that much of a test.
Arkansas is going to be a top 25 team.
Yeah,
if you get Illinois on there, Illinois will be another good one. Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati is going to be better this year. They had to fire John Brannon for some issues that came up after the season ended, and so he only got a couple of years there. Nobody liked him, and he was out. Wichita State should be solid, and I think will be the right kind of test for K-State. And shock up at Marquette will be interesting, and I think at this point Hoiberg should probably start to see some stronger results at Nebraska. So
they just landed a big guy up in Lincoln. I read about it a couple of weeks ago that one of the top. I can't remember if it was one of the top recruits out of the state or what it was, but they did get a pretty good commitment a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it all ends up playing out, but I'm interested to kind of see what the season brings, and I think the Big 12 at the top this year could be really fun. It's just a matter of if Texas can kind of put it together and stay kind of locked in, and I'm hoping that Texas lives up to the expectations, because I think that will certainly make things a lot more exciting.
Well, I think the big key in the Big 12 for it to be a big-time solid basketball conference is going to be, can Kansas get things put? I mean, Kansas has got probably as much talent on the team this year as we've seen in the last couple of years. They just got to be able to put all that talent together, and that's always been kind of my knock on Bill Self is it takes him so long, it seems like, for all this talent to come together and play as a team. You know, they lose games early that they probably shouldn't. Now, what counts is where you're at the end of the year. I get that, and that's usually when Kansas is at its best. But I would like to see KU come out of the gate with something strong with all the talent they have.
Yeah, I would think that hopefully, based off what you're looking at, is that you've got a team put together right now that, with a lot of the guys that are coming in, they're going to be a very veteran team this year. They've got on the roster, they have 6 freshmen listed. Some obviously not all scholarship, but you've got some guys there that are going to be able to develop. And then after that, I mean, you don't have a ton of others on the team. You only got 2 or 3 sophomores, and the rest are juniors and seniors, just loaded with guys that are either back for a 5th year or more, or they're at legit senior season, redshirt sophomores tossed in the mix. They're going to be a really good team that I don't think that they should have those hiccups early in the year where you kind of look around and say, that's not very good looking. So, I mean, they always test themselves early. Is Mitch Lightfoot back? He is back, yeah.
Mitch Lightfoot and Skylar Thompson ought to be best buddies. That'll go hang out together. Because they both have been in college for 12 years.
They've been there a while. So
they're like career college guys.
Yeah, Mitch Lightfoot is my age. He's entering his 6th season at KU.
I'm surprised he's not 30 yet.
Yeah, you'd think.
I mean, he has been there forever.
For all the jokes that were made about Perry Ellis, he didn't get to have the length of career that Mitch Lightfoot's gotten to have.
Man, that kid has been there forever.
And, I mean, the thing is, it's crazy how it worked out, because he took the red shirt in 2019.
Right.
And
then he gets a year back last year.
So it wasn't even like he missed anything.
So he's been the same. He's been the same. Boy, what do I want to say? He's been in the same class for 3 years now.
Yeah.
On the basketball court.
Yep. Kind of crazy.
Which means, is he even a senior yet?
Yes.
He is. Okay.
They list him as a super senior because last year was technically his senior season. So his first season at KU was 2016-17. He's a freshman then.
Which he played a little bit.
He played in 26 games. The next year was his sophomore year. He played in 38 games.
He actually started some in that
started
year.
7. And then his junior year, KU just says that he
took the red shirt, right?
No, that was the year after. So 2018 and 19, he led KU with 14 charges drawn. And then 2019-20 is when he took the red shirt, which would have been his senior year. And then 2020-21 was last year. He played.
Okay. All right.
And then this year will be his final season. So.
Wow. Well, he can buy the beer for everybody on the team.
And, I mean, the crazy thing is you look around, you can see how many of the dudes in the different sports, like, they're on their third freshman year. Like, there are a lot of guys out there. Basketball, obviously, you get redshirted, whatever. But then, like, football, you play 4 games. We're going to redshirt you in 2019, 2020. You get that year back. You're a freshman again this year. So the eligibility has been extended for a lot of guys. We'll see how much it gets used up, and that's the thing with KU. You look at their roster right now, they have a ton of dudes on it, and that's just because they have the scholarship stuff is a little different right now.
Yeah, because I don't think they really lost much from last year's team, right? Because McCormick and Ochai Agbaji, they both tested the draft, decided to come back.
KU has 18 guys listed on their roster right now.
Wow. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
And how many of them are back from last year? That played.
Yeah.
They got playing time.
Christian Brown, DeJuan Harris, Jalen Wilson. Let's see. Ochai Agbaji, David McCormick, Mitch Lightfoot.
And so Wilson, McCormick, and Agbaji, I think, tested the NBA waters and all came back. KU should be good then.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have as much of a problem putting things together early on.
And, I mean, it puts Christian Brown in a situation where you need to start hitting your shots this year because last year was disappointing.
Him and Wilson both. I mean, Wilson was a little bit better last year, but I think they both got to because I think Remy Martin's a guy that is going to come in and hit the shots.
Oh, yeah. No, there's going to be plenty of guys that can take your spot this year.
All right, little college basketball to get the show going this morning. Why not? Preseason stuff starting to kind of filter in. We'll get to some NFL and college football as the show continues on. We want to hear from you on our Maximum Outdoor Equipment hotlines at 522-1410. Call the show next.
Call the game plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410. Football season is here. Join Sports Radio KGSO for your favorite football games all season long. NFL games, Oklahoma Sooners, your college game of the week, and your home for Bishop Carroll High School football. When you think of the boys of fall, you think Sports Radio KGSO. Presented by
Burwell Construction, The Glassman, Two Brothers Barbecue, Shelter Insurance, Continental Truck Accessories, Jewelry Savers, and Mays Motors.
Hey parents, let's talk driver's education. The Wichita Driving School offers classes that make it quick and easy for your teen to learn his or her driving skills. 8 hours of in-class instruction and 6 hours of driving instruction. This is great for busy schedules and conflicts. The Wichita Driving School also offers classes for adults as well. Driver's education completed quickly and effectively at the Wichita Driving School. Visit wichitadrivingschool.com and sign up today. That's wichitadrivingschool.com.
At Midwest Kia, we're helping you solve all the problems that everyone is talking about when buying your next new vehicle. Have you been told there are no new cars out there? No problem. Have you been told you have negative equity? No problem. Have you been told you have bad credit? No problem. Maybe you've even heard you can't get a great deal on a new car. At Midwest Kia, we solve all of these problems for you. With over 300 new Kias, certified pre-owned Kias, and used vehicles, Midwest Kia has the deal and the car, truck, or SUV for you. And we want to get you approved. If you have $600 cash or trade, you could be approved for a brand new Kia today. Plus, every new Kia comes with our amazing 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Only at Midwest Kia and MidwestKia.com. Simple, transparent, and fast. A better way to buy.
We wanna see ya in a Midwest Kia.
On select models with approved credits. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
Buying a car should be a fun, exciting process, but nobody dislikes anything more than walking on a car lot and feeling like you have a target painted on your back.
Come on, it's the best deal in town. You don't want to miss this.
Sign here, sign here.
If you're tired of hearing the same song and dance every time, come on down to Auto Infinity just north of Kellogg on West Street. They make it easy to find a gently used vehicle that you love without being harassed.
Give me your money.
You can find them on Car Gurus or by checking out their website at autoinfinityks.com.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe, put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
You know this story. It's about a town with growing potential and hometown pride, and people wanting to better themselves for their family, their future, and their community. Sound familiar? It should. It's your story. And at WTI, we've seen this story time and time again. It's why we focus on giving you the best possible training to create career opportunities in the healthcare and technical fields. Start training for your new career today. Visit WTI.edu or visit one of our 2 Wichita campuses today. WTI, connecting community to careers.
Morning weather on KGSO has been brought to you by the Wichita Driving School. Students with busy schedules or summer conflicts can learn to drive from us. For classroom schedules at our east or west locations, visit wichitadrivingschool.com.
Sunshine early today in Wichita with more clouds this afternoon. Some spotty rain possible with a high near 72. Could see light rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder late in the day into the overnight with a low near 48. For your day on Friday, the rain rolls out, the return of sunshine, but cool, a high near 64. With your forecast, I'm Cake meteorologist Frank Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on Sports Radio KGSO.
At 6:47, it's currently 51 degrees.
This is The Game Plan with Doug Downs and Mason Voth.
Wrapping up hour one of the show. One final segment left. 522-1410. Maximum Outdoor Equipment Hotlines. Come on, call in on the show this morning. Want to hear from you? A lot of college basketball talk to get things going here as we get into the weekend. Mason's favorite day is today, Thursday. See, if I was you, I would make tomorrow my favorite day because you got a nice game tomorrow night you get to go do.
Nah, see, I don't know. Fridays are just kind of one of those where they're nice, but I think in the afternoon they get really hectic leading up to the game. Like, you know, getting the final things ready, making sure you have everything together before you head out. We're coordinating on when we're all going to leave from here and go down there together. So it's a process that we're going through.
Yeah, Fridays are a little hectic, but that's all right. It's a fun hectic. That's what I like about it is yeah, there's a lot going on. And last week for me, there was a ton going on just because the game was at Cessna Stadium. Not too many games are played there, so trying to figure out logistics and all that. But it was a fun hectic. I enjoyed it.
I will say it's nicer here, though, because the travel isn't as, like, far as when, like, I was in Manhattan where – doing a lot of Manhattan games, I was either having to go to like Topeka or Emporia for stuff, or if it was some of the surrounding area teams, it's, you know, Waumego's still a decent drive out, or Rock Creek, Raleigh County, all these area schools, you got to go out a little bit further. So it's nice for most of the time when they're located in a pretty tight area to where your home base is. So that makes things a little bit easier. But I don't know, that it's like when you can, like, the sun is at the right point and it's like 2:30 in the afternoon, and you're just trying to scramble to get everything finished up. Those are what Fridays are like for me.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a fun, hectic. You get a chance to know that, you know, in a couple of hours you're going to get to watch a good football game, get to call a good football game. So I enjoy Friday afternoons. They're not too big of a pain. NFL tonight, Tampa Bay at Philly. Boy, does Philadelphia have anything for Tampa Bay, or does Tom Brady come in and throw 5 touchdown passes again? I don't think this is going to be much of a game. It's on Fox and the NFL Network, both. So you got that you can tune into. And ESPN did kind of make an official announcement. I think we knew this was coming, that they are going to have a wild card playoff game now on Monday night. So that'll give you 2 games on Sunday. I'm sorry, 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday for the NFL wild card. Try and do everything they can to save that prime time.
Well, it's smart, and they're just trying to. They're trying to keep ESPN involved in this, and I don't really get it. I would just kick them to the curb and say, "Hey, guess what? Your guys' coverage kind of sucks. It's clearly behind the others. We're actually just not going to let you get in on this." But I guess ESPN's throwing enough money at it, so you got to give them a bone. And
such a big deal, they're moving that Monday night game to ABC.
What wild card game do you think we end up getting there? Like, who are the kind of teams, based off who's in it right now, who is playing in that wild card game?
Oh, boy. I'd have to go back and look at kind of the standings and where we're even at right now.
Because I don't know that we're going to have a division champ that finishes under 500 this year, but they would be a prime candidate to play in that game. Because that seems to be what they get a lot.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And the Texans aren't going to be there this year, so the Texans typically get to play in that game as well.
You're probably going to get whoever. See, I think the AFC West is probably going to get 2 teams in, right? Maybe the North and probably the North.
Yeah, I think you'll at least see the AFC West get 2 in. I don't. Although at this point, I don't see any way that the Raiders are able to now piece it together with an interim coach. We were already starting to kind of see their holes the last 2 weeks, and now I don't know. Do you think that they can get things figured out and be a playoff team still? Because I really don't.
No, I think if the AFC West gets 2 teams in, it's probably going to be Kansas City and the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think that's probably your 2 teams.
The AFC South is only getting 1 team in. That is a terrible-looking division right now.
Yeah, and probably shouldn't even deserve that.
Whoever wins the AFC South, they're going to be in that wild card game. They will be in there, probably playing the. I could see that being like them playing the Browns or somebody. You'll probably get Browns Titans on Monday night, unless something happens in the NFC where it gets really ugly. But I doubt that it will.
Depending on really what happens in the West, if the Broncos and the Raiders just fall off and the Chiefs get things together, you could get that team from the West, that second place team.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of crazy if it was Kansas City, right?
It would be. Let's see here. The wild card game that ESPN had last year was Baltimore, Tennessee. That game was a 20-13 finish. The year prior to that, ESPN got the Bills and Texans. That was that kind of ugly 22-19 overtime game.
That ESPN game's going to be an AFC game, right?
Not necessarily. Like the one that I have bigger memories of is when ESPN did they got the Panthers game when the Panthers played in the wild card. It was before they'd actually gone to the Super Bowl, but it was when they won the NFC South at 7-9. The year before that, they had Colts-Texans. Not a very good game.
Here's what's crazy about the NFC right now. If you were picking right now, you would say the Rams and the Bears. Now, the Rams could still win that division, but that would be probably your 2 NFC wild card teams.
Titans-Chiefs played on that wild card game on ESPN. That was the Marcus Mariota completing the pass to himself. The Texans and Raiders. So it's not crazy exciting national matchups that ESPN gets. Last year was probably the best one that they've had, being able to get Baltimore and Tennessee. You go back all the way to 2016, it was the Chiefs and the Texans on that wild card game on ESPN. So just I don't know. I always think it's kind of interesting to see.
Well, who else has them? So CBS and Fox, right? We'll have them.
Well, and NBC typically always gets a wild card game as well. So I don't know how the TV will typically
CBS.
work out.
Well, here it is. CBS has 2 games. Fox, ESPN, and ABC have 1 apiece.
Okay.
So CBS would probably get the first rights to whoever the AFC is.
Probably so. They're gonna get a marquee game of some kind. So I would imagine that they'd
Fox
probably
will get a marquee game with Troy and Joe Buck.
I don't know. I guess depending on how the season goes, like if it is the Chiefs that end up playing in that wild card game, they're probably going to be the hot ticket for whoever gets to select first.
Especially since they're putting this on ABC.
Yeah, I think they've done this for every wild card game. I think that was like in the contract for ESPN to be able to get a wild card game is that they had to actually air it on ABC too. That way you get the opportunity for a more national audience.
It don't matter. I'll be watching the ESPN2 broadcast because the MegaCast with Peyton and Eli also will be involved.
Yeah, I kind of missed it this past week. I wasn't all that engaged in Monday Night Football.
I don't think it was on this last week.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
They're stepping away until like week 8 or something.
Hour 2 straight ahead. Brent Kimnitz joins us in the hour.
It's time for your latest news from the KGSO News Center. Brought to you by Phil's Coins, Kansas's largest coin dealer at 9344 West Central. Phil's Coins, buying, selling, and trading with honesty and integrity.
From the KQAM News Desk, I'm John Wright. Good morning. The Wichita Police Department is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in connection to a drive-by shooting that injured an 11-year-old girl. Dusty Hockey says her cousin was taken to the hospital.
Got a call saying that Michaela had been shot and they were on their way to the hospital. Scared. I was angry. Right now, they are lucky. If it went a half inch anymore, Michaela would have been paralyzed.
A GoFundMe has been created to help the girl's family. And 23-year-old Keyshawn Dawson, who was being sought in connection to the shooting death of 34-year-old Preston Spencer and the wounding of 6 others at a club in Old Town, will not fight extradition back to Kansas from Arizona. The forecast, mostly sunny today, high 71. Tonight, there is a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms with an overnight low around 48 degrees. Now, here's sports.
Wichita will be the host of the regional rounds of the 2022 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship at Intrust Bank Arena on March 25th through the 28th. Tickets do begin going on sale to the general public on Tuesday, October 19th at 9 a.m. As the Kansas City Chiefs prepare to take on the Washington football team this weekend, there's a long list of injuries right now for Kansas City, including Tyreek Hill, Chris Jones, and Joe Thuney. Andy Reid addressed the situation.
It seems like a long list. I think when it's all said and done, we'll be able to get guys back here in the next little bit.
From the KGSO Sports Desk, I'm Doug Downs. This sports report is built by Burwell Construction. Whether it's a roofing, siding, guttering, windows, or you just want a brand new deck in your backyard, call Burwell Construction or find them online at burwellconstruction.com.
Hi, this is Brian Davis with Davis Liquor Outlet.
And this is Blake Davis with a great special on Captain Morgan Spiced 1.75 liters, just $23.99.
And don't forget about our special on Most Wanted Vodka 1.75 liters, only $17.99.
Davis Liquor Outlet, each store independently owned and operated.
Excludes 31st and Meridian.
At Midwest Kia, we're helping you solve all the problems that everyone is talking about when buying your next new vehicle. Have you been told there are no new cars out there? No problem. Have you been told you have negative equity? No problem. Have you been told you have bad credit? No problem. Maybe you've even heard you can't get a great deal on a new car. At Midwest Kia, we solve all of these problems for you. With over 300 new Kias, certified pre-owned Kias, and used vehicles, Midwest Kia has the deal and the car, truck, or SUV for you. And we want to get you approved. If you have $600 cash or trade, you could be approved for a brand new Kia today. Plus, every new Kia comes with our amazing 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Only at Midwest Kia and MidwestKia.com. Simple, transparent, and fast. A better way to buy.
We wanna see ya in a Midwest Kia.
On select models with approved credits. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
Hi, this is Blake with Davis Liquor Outlet.
And this is Brian with another special on Absolute Vodka 1.75 liters, only $29.49.
And Bullet Bourbon 1.75 liters, just $44.99. Davis Liquor Outlet, each store independently owned and operated.
Excludes 31st and Meridian.
This is a Steckline communication station, K230BY, FM 93.9, and AM 1410 KGSO, Wichita proud. Your local weather on KGSO. Brought to you by Derby Mattress. No dancing animals, no gimmicks. Your locally owned hometown mattress store at 105 South Baltimore in Derby.
Sunshine early today in Wichita with more clouds this afternoon. Some spotty rain possible with a high near 72. Could see light rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder late in the day into the overnight with a low near 48. For your day on Friday, the rain rolls out, the return of sunshine, but cool, a high near 64. With your forecast, I'm Cake meteorologist Frank Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on Sports Radio KGSO.
At 7 o'clock, it's currently 51 degrees.
The following is a presentation of Steckline Communications and Sports Radio 1410 AM and 93.9 FM, KGSO. Edgy Sports Talk.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass. Do shit.
This is The Game Plan with Doug Downs and Mason Voth.
Live from our Seven Clans First Council Casino Hotel and Resort Studios. The Game Plan, Wichita Sports Station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM, KGSO. Doug and Mason, we appreciate everybody waking up with us. Got a lot of people watching the show right now across one of our 4 streaming networks. You can log on, Facebook Live, Twitch.tv, Twitter, or YouTube. And as always, when you jump in your car, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM. Well, on this Thursday morning to start second hour, we always bring in our friend. He is the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. Had a weekend off, just sat around, ate bonbons, watched a little football, did that kind of stuff. Now back to work, back at it. Wyatt, how you doing?
Well, I'm good. I watched more than a little football.
I'm glad you got to see it quite a bit because there were some good games last weekend in the college ranks.
Really good games. The truth is, D. Scott Fritchen and I were talking about this. We basically watched, not together, but watched football from about 11 a.m. until about 11:15 p.m. and saw a lot of good games and really relaxing day. It was a lot of fun. And then Karen and I got to take in the Chiefs game on Sunday night. And despite the loss and the lightning delay, we had a ball. So it's a good football weekend. And now here we get back to K-State reality, right?
Did you wait out the rain and the lightning delay at the Chiefs game?
Oh, for sure.
All right, good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Old hat, man. You're used to doing that at games.
Yeah, it only felt weird not having to fill with Stan, right?
Right. Yeah, there you go. You could actually just kind of sit there and relax instead of having to try. And rain delays are the worst. Rain delays in baseball, it's like you kind of understand that those are going to happen, and depending on how long they are, sometimes you can throw it back to the studio and say, take over because we're going to be here for a while. Football's a different story. It's tough to kind of bounce it back and forth, and so you're sitting there trying to fill things. And I always love the ones where they go, all right, we're going to have a 35-minute rain delay or lightning delay. So you're like, all right, good. And then you get right to that point, and they go, well, we got to add another 30 minutes. I'm like, well, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. I had a couple of my counterparts around the league, Dave Hunziker at Oklahoma State and Brian Estridge at TCU, in the last couple of years have to fill. I think one was like 5.5 hours, and one was almost 8. So
wow,
that's rough.
Yeah,
I think the 3 that we've had have been more in the vicinity of an hour to 2 hours, but they can get lengthy. And you're right, that 30-minute thing is, once the last lightning strike and they give you the clear, if it strikes again, you're going to add another 30 every single time. It's just kind of the rules of it, and it can be frustrating for everybody, especially the fans.
Well, it's frustrating when you know that lightning strike is not – I mean, look, we all have to be careful with lightning. I get that. But sometimes you can just see there's no reason to add another 30 minutes. This thing is not that close.
Yeah, and I don't know enough about all of the particulars there to how close that is. I don't know whether it's like 10 miles or 25 miles. I don't know that. I guess I should ask Casey about that because he's the guy that at K-State that directs everybody through all of that, along with the weather personnel and the city people. So it's I'm like everything. There's always a method to the madness, right?
Yeah, there is. Well, hopefully on Saturday night we have clean weather. Sounds like we're going to have some good fall weather. It's going to be nice and cool, and a big game coming in. I said this to Stan on Monday when we had him on. For me, a lot of what goes on with this game is going to depend on really the two quarterbacks and probably Brock Purdy more than anything. I think if Brock Purdy comes out and plays like the guy everybody expected him to be, then it could be a tough night for K-State. If he plays like the guy we've seen so far this year, and you get a healthy Skylar Thompson where you can bring the quarterback run game for Kansas State back into the mix, then I think it's a tough night for Iowa State.
Well, that's two pretty good thoughts that I certainly would not argue with. I don't think there's any question that Brock Purdy has been a little bit up and down in his play this year, which is really unlike what he has been through the entirety of his career up until this point, right? I mean, through 5 games. I mean, he was even taken out of the Iowa game. That's just mind-blowing when you think about it. And some of that stuff, I mean, there are a couple of tips in there on some of that stuff. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I think you're right. If he's on his game, they just become so much more difficult because of the people around him and because of that defense. I really, we've talked a lot after playing Oklahoma State about how good their defense is, and I think Iowa State's in some ways they're really different, but they're both really high level defensive teams. And I think K-State will have to play terrific offense to have a chance to win the game. And good defense, too. They need to get back, and they've talked a lot about this, get back to, playing the run and tackling like they did in those first 3 games as opposed to the last couple. Yeah, the competition's been tougher, but I'm anxious to see how they perform after the week off.
Well, and on the defense, I think the concern for a lot of people should be the fact that you've struggled the first 2 weeks of Big 12 play defensively, and now even though Iowa State has struggled at points this year, their wins haven't been against the greatest of teams. You have to face a guy in Breece Hall who, even if the rest of his offense isn't picking it up, is still one of the more talented guys in the conference. So what do you expect the K-State defense to look like against Breece Hall, especially with dudes continuing to be banged up?
Yeah, that's the interesting part, isn't it? Because here's what I think we probably know. Tell me if you disagree with this, and I'm fine if you do. That's why we do these things, to kind of discuss it. But I'm going to be shocked if he doesn't touch the ball 25 times plus. Agree with that?
Oh, has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think they're going to. I mean, he's a big, strong, physical guy that can run inside and out. They've got a good quality veteran line. They're good, with the play action stuff. And I mentioned a lot of weapons around Purdy a moment ago. I mean, when you look at Kohler and Chase Allen and those kind of guys in the tight end game where they can flex them out and move them around and that kind of stuff, that's today's college football, to be honest with you. And then you throw Tariq Milton on top of that and Xavier Hutchinson and some other good receivers. They can be a handful. Now, again, they haven't played, and that's the key. They haven't played to the level that they're capable of yet. But I think going back to what you said initially, Doug, if they're hitting on all cylinders, they can be. There's a reason they were picked in the top 10 or 15 in the preseason, and people think they'll be, in the run for this conference championship and all of that. It's pretty obvious from that vein. I mean, they're good. They just are. They just haven't played perfect football yet, or close to perfect football.
Well, for me, and this is kind of somewhat of a dumb statement, I guess, because this is football in general, but I think when you play a team like Iowa State that has a guy like Breece Hall, for me, Kansas State, the most important thing they can do is stop them on first down. You let Iowa State in second and medium, second and short on every drive, then you're in trouble.
I agree. That's a perfect way to put it, because then you do open yourself up to all of the things that they are pretty good at, including pounding it at you with Brees and the play action stuff. And then, but you know what? The truth is K-State's not a whole lot different either. I think, if you look at where in the games where K-State has been successful, they've been a lot more in 2nd and 4 and 5 or 2, 3, 4 and 5 as opposed to, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, those kind of things. I think first down will be really big. And then, it's obvious statement too, but, to keep those guys on the sideline, you're going to have to perform on third down in this game too. And K-State's been okay at that at times and not so okay at that at times. So we'll be watching that too.
Where is Skylar at right now after he came back against OU, looked really good as a passer, and then got the week off to heal up a little bit more? How different will he look on the field compared to how he was used against Oklahoma?
That's a great question. I think it's one of the questions of the week, and I guess I would answer it this way. I don't know that I'm 100% certain, just based on what he said and what Coach said on Tuesday at the press conferences. I think it's pretty obvious from what was said that day that this is an injury that will continue to take, some rehab and some work to continue to get to play every week. It's not going to be healed in 2 weeks and gone. It's just kind of one of those lingering things. But with that said, I think you guys know Skylar, and he's pretty diligent in how he goes about stuff, and including, being in the pool and getting, all the rehab that he needs. And I do think he, based on what he told me Tuesday, I think he feels really pretty good about it. And I think maybe there will be, some quarterback run game on the table. I guess we'll find out. But I got the sense that he feels good enough that you could see some of that. I don't know that they'll do it all the time based on the Oklahoma game, because I think the coaches felt like he threw the ball so well. We'll see if he can do that against Iowa State. Again, I told a couple guys in interviews yesterday, Iowa State's defense is really good at all three levels. So it isn't like you just attack the edge or, try to get into that mid-range throwing game or whatever. They bring a lot of people at you and have difference-making guys at all three levels.
Wyatt, they dropped their first 2 Big 12 games, 2 games in a row, and then they get this off week. And I was really, I guess, pleased to hear that Coach Kleiman talked about how they handled the off week, where they really worked hard on younger players and trying to do that development. They used that week for that. They gave a lot of the experienced players some time off to rest and heal up and stuff like that. A lot of coaches, I think, after you drop your first 2 Big 12 games, they may panic a little bit and go, well, maybe if Skylar's not 100%, we need to bring in more packages for Will Howard so we can't bring the quarterback run game in. It doesn't sound like K-State did any of that. They went back to saying, we're going to use this as a development week to try to get younger players even up to more speed, and I kind of like that.
Well, I think you said a lot there. I still think, however, if they choose to use Will Howard in the run game, that's on the table. But I totally respect what you're talking about. And he mentioned again on Tuesday, and I will probably talk to him. Well, not probably. I'll talk to him a lot today because I always talk to him on Thursdays and Thursday night with the radio show. But, I got the sense that he felt really good about, the player development, some of those young guys that have been on the scout team that kind of got to, as he said it, get to kind of run the K-State stuff and talk the K-State verbiage a little bit. He mentioned a couple of different guys, but like Tyrone Howe's been playing some, but he mentioned him and, how he's starting to kind of really get a feel for what this offense is all about. And then, younger guys like on the defensive side, like Crew Jackson, who is a 6'5" linebacker who I think they really think a lot of towards the future. Those are the kind of guys that I think benefited from that off week as much as anything, to be honest. And I think that was the goal going in, and they worked really hard, the first part of the week through Thursday night, and then cut them loose for the weekend. And you could tell, visiting with the players that showed up to the press conference on Tuesday, that they were refreshed and ready to go. I think they very much enjoyed the weekend off and know that they've got 7 hard games ahead of them here.
How does the attitude for K-State football change based off this game? With a win, it is a really huge positive swing, I'd imagine. And if it's a loss, it's probably one of the more negative swings that we've seen in a while since probably the last year of Bill Snyder and maybe even before that.
That's a great point, Mason. I've talked a lot about that this week. I think both programs have. Let's just cut to the chase here. This is a pretty big swing game for both programs, isn't it? I mean, there's a big difference between being 1-2 in the conference going to Lubbock and then 0-3. And 4-2 sounds a lot better than 3-3, doesn't it? I mean, it's just what it is. And you know the situation that Iowa State's in. I mean, they're a little bit ahead in the fact that they're 1-1 in conference play, having beaten Kansas at home 2 weeks ago. But it is, you know, when you look at it from their perspective, this is a team that was expected to compete for a championship and maybe a New Year's Six game or better. I mean, there were people talking about them being a playoff team early in the preseason and that kind of stuff. That's probably off the table now, obviously, but you know, they still have a lot to play for. And for K-State, you know, I really think if you listen and kind of read between the lines, I think Coach Kleiman feels pretty good about where they're at and the capabilities that they have moving forward if they stay healthy, and that certainly includes Skylar. And I think they are playing for a really good bowl game, you know, moving forward. And it kind of starts without a doubt this weekend. It's a huge football game. You can't hide from that. It's what it is.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say at the point where things stand right now, I think you can look at everything considered and say that you could see K-State finishing the season 10-2, but you could also see them finishing the season 5-7. And I think that this Iowa State game is kind of a big deciding factor in what direction the season probably ends up going, because I mean you can see the best case scenario where I think everybody that's left on the schedule outside of Texas, you can say with 50% confidence, they can go win that game, as opposed to your general, and maybe they can sneak a win. But I think there's also a lot of reason to be a little concerned about, obviously Iowa State's a big one. On the road to Lubbock will be interesting, especially I think depending on what time you have to play that game at. TCU has played up at times this year. They've also played down, kind of like they normally are. And I think I'm still not 100% convinced I know what West Virginia and Baylor actually are. So I think it's just I think it's kind of a weird spot in the season for K-State. And I haven't been as burn it down as other people have. I think there have been a lot freaking out that they've lost 2 in a row. It's just well, I'm not sure that they would have won at Oklahoma State and against Oklahoma to start the season anyways. And so it's just a scheduling unfortunate thing to have happen where they end up, going 0-2 to start because that's who you played right off the bat. And so I don't think it helps that Iowa State's the team you play off that stretch. It would be great if it was the road trip to Lawrence this weekend. But I think that K-State is in a spot right now where we know that this is a big game for them. I think it's a big game not just for the coaching staff for themselves because, that's really all that matters here. But I think fan perception-wise, since it's, getting late into year 3 of Chris Kleiman and company, I think this goes a long way for how the fans are going to react.
Well, you said a ton there, and I agree with all of that. Everybody listening can tell that, like Doug and like myself, you're following the league and kind of have, a feel for some things and still kind of waiting for others to play out. I think that's where we all sit today. Baylor sits there as an example at 5-1. Are they 5-1 good? I'm going to profess to you that maybe they are, even though their non-conference schedule wasn't really very good. They did beat Iowa State at home when they had the opportunity.
They got BYU this weekend, so
that's
we'll
a
see.
huge game for them.
I was shocked.
It is for BYU too.
I was shocked to see how well Gary Bohannon had played this year. Individually, I'd known that he'd played well in games, but I didn't realize his numbers for the entire season are really, really good. He hasn't turned the ball over yet. He's done a lot of nice things for Baylor, so I'm a little surprised there. And I guess it shouldn't, because Dave Aranda comes from a place where he had a really good defense at LSU and did a lot of good things. So it just has made games that I think you thought were probably the places to steal wins this year a little bit tougher for K-State, and that's why I think they have to be so incredibly sharp in a game like this against Iowa State this weekend, but also moving forward.
Well, and I totally agree with that, and I would add this to that. We just talked about the importance of this game and a tone-setting game for both of these teams. But if you don't win the game, I would profess to you that you still have a ton of football left and could still be a 7 or 8 or 9 win team. And K-State has had teams that have started 0-2 or 0-3 before and have recovered and been a bowl team and those kind of things. I don't know if that's good enough for everybody in the fan base. I get that, but I think this is a team that definitely wants to get back into that bowl picture. I think they feel like they are more than capable of that. But what we're describing is the league is hard. You're right. I mean, hey, let me just tell you, we're going to be talking about this a lot more next week. It is not going to be a day at the beach going to Tech. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form K-State can't go there and run on them like TCU did the other night. TCU ran them out of the place. They had a running back that got 143 rushing yards in the first quarter against Tech. So it is – but Tech also scored 31 points, had 544 yards of total offense, and were never in the game. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
It's just the league is tough week in and week out, and there are few exceptions to that rule. And so I think there's a ton to play for this weekend. I'm not downplaying that in any way. We all get it.
There's one exception to that rule.
Game.
One exception.
Yeah.
And it's sad. I hate to say it, but it is.
I understand where you're going. I get it.
I know.
Yeah.
Have you ever, and I was trying to think back for me, and I can't recall, and maybe it's just because I'm old and I don't remember things like I used to, but I can never recall a conference that started a season with a guy that was a probably favorite to win a Heisman.
Yep.
Maybe even the number 1 overall draft pick at quarterback that now looks like he'll be sitting on the bench for a freshman. I mean, I've never seen anything, I don't think, like this before on what's going on at Oklahoma. You've seen Spencer Rattler play. He had a nice game against Kansas State. And you watch that game and the way he played Kansas State, and then you sit back in your head and go, and now they got a guy that they think is even better than that? I mean, I don't know. This is just so weird to me on where Oklahoma's at.
It is a rarity. There's no question about that. I don't know what to add to that other than to say it is strange to see. I mean, let me remind you and your listeners that here, Rattler was 22 out of 25 throwing the ball.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, too, is they were behind 28-7 after one quarter in Dallas last week, and somehow, some way, found a way to come back and win the game.
I think
a lot of that was because of Williams, and he was terrific.
I think that Spencer Rattler, it's all absolutely just in his head. I just don't think that, he's a guy that can mentally handle certain adversities in football and other things. Like, we've seen the personality side of it, whether it's prior to him getting to Oklahoma and some of the stuff that was on the Netflix show or just some of the outward personality that we see. I thought it was very telling that Caleb Williams touchdown, the first one last week. It looked like everybody on that sideline was excited, was going over there and slapping him on the helmet, and there was one guy that you never saw do it. There's the video of the entire team still out on the field after the game, and there's one guy walking to the locker room already that's wearing white, and it was Spencer Rattler. And so I think that when things are going good for Spencer Rattler, everybody loves him. He's a great guy because we've all been around people like that in our lives where when things are going well, there's nobody better. But when things start to go south, that's not the guy that you want to be riding with you. And I think that's the kind of person Spencer Rattler is. And I think it's not just incredible that Oklahoma has made a switch that's going to force a guy with that talent or perceived talent and expectations to probably be QB2 the rest of the season. I think the more crazy part of this is there's no way he can be a first-round pick anymore, and he's probably going to have to go find another school to play quarterback at next year as opposed to being taken in the top 10 of the draft this year like what he would have expected as the season started.
Well, again, you said a lot there, and I would start with the draft part. This is a kid who has, as I recollect off the top of my head, would be a draft-eligible player this year. And many believe, again, we're going back a couple of weeks thinking that, he was either going to be the first or second quarterback taken. I don't know if he's necessarily slipped as far in the NFL people's minds as he may have in mine or your eyes. I think the guy still has immense talent, but the couple of things that you mentioned there would throw up a red flag for a lot of people and a lot of coaches and a lot of fans that, again, I don't want to compare players, but it's going to sound like I'm trying to do that here. But like when Skyler was out, I mean, you didn't see any of that. I mean, he's in there trying to help those two guys. And I've seen him personally at practice, a year ago where he was really diligently working to help those guys get better. And I love that team kind of guy. And I don't know whether Rattler is that or isn't that, but what you're saying, I frankly didn't really see that so much. But if that is so, if I'm the coach, I'd be troubled by it. I'm not going to lie.
Just a weird deal all the way around, man.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know that I've
and
ever
we've got
seen...
Spygate now where you've got a college reporter or something watching practice with binoculars and reporting that Williams is running with the first team and all of that kind of baloney. And
my theory,
welcome to Oklahoma football, boys.
My theory is that he was just bird watching and, happened to have his eyes grazed down to the practice field.
I like it.
My theory is that you got so-called the best team in the conference. It's got all kinds of stuff going on with it. And unfortunately, that derails football programs, and we'll see what happens as Oklahoma moves on here.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Wyatt. Well, have fun this weekend. Enjoy the game on Saturday night, and we'll see what happens when the clock goes to zeros, I guess, at the end of the night.
You got it. Should be fun. Let me just say real quick, too, the basketball team will scrimmage at 3:45 till about 5-something. So if you want to get that in before the football game, you're more than welcome to come to Bramlage and watch that, too.
No, very nice. And we'll talk a little basketball next week. We'll get some preseason polls and stuff out like that we can discuss. So appreciate it as always. Good. Have a good week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much.
Take care. There he goes, Wyatt Thompson, voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. Big game against Iowa State. Open phones for the next segment. You want to dial in? Love to hear from you. We'll talk a little NFL. Then we'll get Brent Kimnitz on with us for the final segment of the hour. This is the Game Plan on Wichita's sports station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM, KGSO.
Call the Game Plan now on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment phone lines at 522-1410.
It's time for another great season of fall sports with the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles. This is Doug Downs. Join me every Tuesday night at Two Brothers Barbecue, 6730 West Central, for the Bishop Carroll Coaches Show. Each Tuesday night from 6 to 7 at Two Brothers Barbecue on West Central. You will hear from head football coach Dusty Trail as he breaks down every Friday night's matchup. Plus, we will feature a segment with coaches from other Golden Eagle sports as well as players. Join us every Tuesday night at Two Brothers Barbecue on West Central for the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagle Coaches Show on Fox Sports Radio Wichita, KGSO.
Truck, SUV, truck, SUV. That's the only choice you'll have to make because where you buy it is easy. Rusty Eck Ford.
That's right. And at Rusty Eck Ford, again, you have options with their huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles available right now. What does certified mean to you? It means getting the price advantage of buying pre-owned with the security of a manufacturer-backed warranty, like Ford's, with up to 7 years and 100,000 miles. It means getting a vehicle that comes fully inspected. It means getting 24/7 roadside assistance and total peace of mind. Rusty Eck Ford is your #1 choice as your #1 certified pre-owned Ford dealer in Wichita.
So it's that simple, and there is no other choice. It's Rusty Eck Ford. If you don't come see us today, we can't save you any money. RustyEckFord.com.
Offers valid on select in-stock vehicles with approved credit plus tax and fees. Not all qualify. See dealer for details. Based on 5/20/21 sales. Offers expire month's end.
Before the real cold weather hits, call Burwell Construction and have them come out and make sure your house is ready for the Kansas winter. Roofing, windows, siding, guttering, you'll find it all with Burwell Construction, in business for over 35 years as a Kansas construction company. And if you're still looking for a contractor to take care of the damage on your home from this last spring's storms, look no further than BurwellConstruction.com.
If it's built well, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
Hi, Rick Everett for Derby Mattress. A good night's rest is essential in my work, as I'm sure it is for you. When I finally figured out it was my mattress that was interfering with me getting good rest, I started looking. I gotta admit, I shopped. I bought from Derby Mattress. Oh, I checked out the big stores with their fast talker commission guys, the gimmicks, and the dancing animals. You see, Sharon Kinney at Derby Mattress runs a family store, and they treat you like family, not like a commission on a car lot. Derby Mattress, 105 South Baltimore, next to the VFW in Derby.
Andel Ready Mix Central Incorporated has superior service, quality concrete, and cutting-edge equipment. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial jobs, large or small, they do it all. For your next concrete job, call today, 316-832-0063. Andel Ready Mix, this mud's for you. Andel Construction offers roller compacted concrete, cement soil stabilization, and dirt services. Andel Ready Mix and Andel Construction can help you with your next project. Call 316-832-0063 or go to Andel Ready Mix or AndelConstruction.com.
Before the real cold weather hits, call Burwell Construction and have them come out and make sure your house is ready for the Kansas winter. Roofing, windows, siding, guttering, you'll find it all with Burwell Construction, in business for over 35 years as a Kansas construction company. And if you're still looking for a contractor to take care of the damage on your home from this last spring's storms, look no further than BurwellConstruction.com.
If it's built well, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
You will always find lip-smacking, belly-rubbing good barbecue at Two Brothers Barbecue. Two Brothers Barbecue offers slow-smoked, traditional barbecue from their wood-burning barbecue pits. And, of course, all your favorites like ribs, pulled pork, brisket, and hot links. Come to Two Brothers Barbecue for lunch or dinner. Or if you're on the go, you can still enjoy the great Two Brothers Barbecue with drive-thru and curbside pickup. Two Brothers Barbecue at 6730 West Central will be the home for the Bishop Carroll Coaches Show every Tuesday from 6 to 7 this fall. Two Brothers Barbecue, lip-smacking, belly-rubbing good.
KGSO Studio presented by Seven Clans Casino, Hotel and Resort. It pays to cross the line.
Welcome back into the show. It is the Game Plan right here on Wichita Sports Station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM, KGSO. Doug and Mason, we appreciate your phone calls, 522-1410. You want to weigh in, you got this segment to do so. We've got Brent Kimnitz coming up in the final segment of the hour, then we'll turn things over to the Glassman Collision Works pit crew. To the phones we go. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Rick, how you doing?
My wife had a Halloween party for the grandkids last night, and I'm telling you, it was the most beautiful night. She just does things great. But I wanted to call in and talk about Baker Mayfield. They are really on his butt. And I'm sitting there watching that Chiefs game, and he absolutely destroyed the Chiefs. And if it wasn't for a fumble on the running back on about the 5-yard line, they probably would have won that game. And if I'm not mistaken, he's hurt. So everybody's saying, well, the coach didn't go that third down, didn't throw the ball, he did a running play. Well, probably it's because he's hurt, and they know it. But, I mean, yeah, he may not be the greatest quarterback, but holy crap, he's out there doing everything he can to help the team.
Well,
I don't see why everybody's on his ass.
I mean, if you look at the basic numbers for Baker Mayfield, look fine, but a lot of what is done isn't because of him necessarily, where he's only thrown for over 250 yards twice this season. He does it in the shootout with the Chargers and against the worst defense in the NFL and the Chiefs. And outside of that, his QBR this season's terrible. It's 43. That's 25th in the NFL. And even though he was fine in that game against the Chargers, at the end of it, when it gets tight, he could not be trusted because he wasn't going to be the best quarterback on the field. It was Justin Herbert, and he wasn't the dude that could get the job done and get the Browns down the field and help them win that game. And I think that's the thing that's why people are being critical right now is because
he's not
hurt.
Isn't he hurt?
I mean, he's a little banged up, I guess. I don't know how
He's
much
got
of
like
that.
what do you call it?
He's got a labrum issue in his left arm. But I don't know how much that to believe. It's always kind of strange how when you start to struggle a little bit, we find out that you're hurt all of a sudden. So I don't know how much of that's actually affecting him. And even then, like, it's not like anything's all that different from what we've seen from him in the past, where he's fine. He's a serviceable quarterback. You put him out there, you can win games with him. But the point is, one, I don't think that the Browns can ever win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield as their quarterback. And two, you're going to need the right pieces around him to succeed. I still like Baker Mayfield. He's fine.
Okay. For what you're saying, though, with the salary cap and all those players on the Browns that are superstar, how are you going to get a elite quarterback?
You're going to probably have to draft another one. Like, or you're going to have to settle for Baker Mayfield for a little bit and hope that everything falls and bounces your way. But that's the other element to this is Baker Mayfield needs a new contract after this year, and he's probably going to want the money that everybody else that's his peer has gotten. And the Browns, the reason this is a topic of conversation is because he's not a guy that deserves that kind of money. And the way that quarterbacks work now, we just don't see these intermediate contracts given to dudes that are starting quarterbacks in the NFL. You're either getting the big-time money or you're getting absolutely nothing to play quarterback. So that's why I think this is all starting to come up a little bit more. Baker is fine. He's a solid starting quarterback in the NFL, but he's not a guy that we've seen make plays and prove that he can be the guy that makes his team win a game. And I think that's why everybody's kind of started to come out of this and say, hey, look, you got great running backs on your team, but it doesn't really matter because you can't run the ball at the end of the game when you're trying to make a comeback. You can't be playing defense on both sides of the ball. You got to play offense for a little bit, and he just hasn't been stellar on it. So I think people, especially when you compare him,
you can't run the ball at the end of the game. So how in the hell is that Baker's fault?
Because what I'm saying is running the ball at the end of the game, like that's just not how it operates. You got to be able to throw the ball.
If you're trying to come back, if you're down in the game.
You can't when in that game when it's 47-42, you can't be trying to run the ball. You're going to have limited time. You're going to be needing to throw it all over the place. Like they can run the ball at the start of the game whenever. They're one of the better teams at running the ball based off their running back situation. But he's just now had to have been compared to Justin Herbert, who's younger than him and has already essentially passed him by in most people's eyes in the talent realm. He's lost to Patrick Mahomes this year. So when he has played a superior quarterback to him, he has lost this season. And that criticism is going to stay there, and it's going to stay on him until we see him take a different step. Like this weekend's going to be huge. They play the Cardinals. He's going to be going head-to-head with Kyler Murray. And this is going to be another one of those weeks where Baker Mayfield is probably going to be judged pretty harshly, even if he has a ho-hum, pretty average game. But people are going to look at the other side of the field and look at what Kyler Murray did and said, yeah, Baker Mayfield's never going to be that, and that's where some of these issues come up from.
Would you rather have Baker Mayfield or the Raiders quarterback?
Well, I mean, that's hard to say based off the fact that Derek Carr's been in the league longer. So
I think they're both very similar.
Yeah, they probably are. I'm not quite as – I'm not going to be – and I have been harsh on Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to be quite as harsh on him this year as what Mason is.
I don't even think I'm being harsh. I just think –
well, I think the one thing that you said there that I would disagree with is I do think the Browns could win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield because I think the Browns have enough talent around him, especially at the running back spot, the offensive line, the defensive line. So I think they have enough talent to do that, and I think Baker can give you enough to get there. Is Baker going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? Probably not. If he is, he's going to be at the very bottom of that, and that's probably about his ceiling. So that's just kind of where you are with him.
I'm just saying they don't have time to recruit another quarterback because you know how things go. People get older in this league in 2 or 3 years, so they need to put all their eggs and all their effort behind Baker because I'm telling you, they're not going to have another.
I don't think they're bailing on Baker in the middle of the season. Like, yep, we can't win with him. It's over. They're going to try and win with him, and I think that they probably still think they can be competitive. And you're just trying to get yourself into a position where you can mask some of the deficiencies there. But I'm at the stage where I look at them, and I don't think Baker can lead you down the field with a minute and a half left to go in a game and you only have one timeout or something. I just don't know that he's that guy, and I don't know that he's the dude that can go through and beat a team that has a better quarterback on the other side of the field as him. And I think to your question, as I think about it more, I'd probably go Derek Carr over Baker Mayfield just for the sole reason of I don't trust Derek Carr all the way. I still really like him, and the Raiders are in kind of the same boat. I do think, though, that he's got more of the arm talent and has shown the ability, at least at times, to move the ball down the field when necessary, and he's beaten quarterbacks that are better than him. I mean, we saw him beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens this year, and he had one heck of a drive down the field to get that game forced to overtime. So I think I would take Derek Carr over Baker Mayfield at this point.
Is commercials are really great, though. You got to admit that.
They are solid commercials.
They are pretty funny this year. I will give them credit for them
See you
this
guys.
year. All right. See you, Rick. Appreciate it. 522-1410 is the phone number. Kind of an interesting, I guess, question that Rick puts out there. Would you take Derek Carr over Baker? I mean, I probably would, just from an experience standpoint, that Derek Carr's been there a lot longer. Boy, that's a tough question. Talent-wise, although I would say this, I don't know that the Raiders would be even as good as what they've been without Derek Carr. I think, so many people come down on Derek Carr. I think he's actually been the glue that's held that thing together.
It's not a great roster they have there, and that's what everybody's right now is now that Gruden's gone, like he's put together a pretty bad roster for him. Like how do you move forward past this?
Good morning, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Joey, what's happening?
Catching up here. Hey, first thing off, you can't get too wrapped up. We talked about this yesterday in these preseason polls.
Joey, that's what we do. We do a sports talk show for 3 hours. You have to.
I understand, but I mean, where Wichita State's at in the preseason. I mean, the one thing you've got to think about is the fact that last year they kind of rallied around Isaac Brown, being named the coach, and they were trying to get him, play for him to get him to be named as a coach. You got to take that factor out this year. That's now done. So now the big challenge is, did they win a lot of those games because they were rallying behind their coach, and what's going to motivate them this year? And to me, where they're at is probably a good spot for them. I mean, there's still a lot of unknowns on how they're going to react. Now that he is the coach, he's been the coach for a while. You've got some new pieces coming in. I think where they're at is kind of perfect.
Actually, I think this about the whole situation when it comes to Isaac Brown. I think that they will actually start the season off in a much better position than they ever have, because I don't think Isaac Brown is the type of guy where, okay, let's go rah-rah and rally around him because we want him to be our coach. I think that's what he brings to the table, and you have people that want to play for a guy like that more than they've ever had at Wichita State over the last decade.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're going to have to see what happens this year, and hopefully you're right, and that is the case. I think a lot of wins they got last year, and some of their big wins they got, though, is because they were rallying around him. So we'll see how they react. The one thing that's kind of got me fired up today that I haven't heard anybody mention, but have you seen Iowa State's alternate uniforms that they're going to wear on Saturday?
I haven't seen them, but I saw something. Somebody was all bent out of shape, some K-State fan, about like they're wearing purple or something?
Purple on purple uniforms. Is there one of their alternate uniforms that they're going to wear?
Are you guys being serious?
Yes, it was on Twitter last
night. I believe so. Yeah.
I'm saying, are you guys being serious as in you fell for what was a joke on Twitter? I mean, it was 100,000, 28, and 94% a joke.
Well, wasn't it one of your boys, like the John Kurtz guy or somebody that put that out there?
No, everybody retweeted it. It was a funny joke and a funny tweet by this guy. So if you go to @33KSU on Twitter, he tweets out, "I saw this coming. First they do it to Hawkeye football, and now they do it to us. It's confirmed. Cyclone football will be wearing their purple alternates against K-State." He just went in and changed the cardinal colors on Iowa State's uniforms to purple and made a funny graphic for it, poking fun at Iowa State and their whole affinity for their black uniforms now. And so it was just a little playful ribbing of Iowa State.
Look, I thought it was weird when I read it, but then I'm like, it doesn't surprise me with alternate uniforms anymore on what teams wear.
I can't believe you guys bit on that. That's insane. It's very clearly a joke.
Well,
if it was a good joke.
Age.
Yeah.
There goes my age.
If it was a good joke because, again, you never know what teams are going to come out in their stupid alternate uniforms.
No, but I mean, they're not going to wear – Iowa State's not going to wear purple on the road at K-State.
Nothing would surprise me anymore, Mason. It wouldn't.
But you guys aren't the only one. There are plenty of other people that responded to that believing it was serious, or Iowa fans were ready to jump on it, make fun of Iowa State. But no, it was a joke.
All right. Well, then now I'm not mad. So.
All right.
I mean, you can still be mad at them. That's fine.
Honestly, I thought it was funny. I was like, good for them. Clever.
I looked at it as motivation's what I looked at. So, all right, fellas, have a good one.
All right, we'll see you. Well, when stupid people put stupid things on Twitter, what are you going to do?
It's not stupid. It's a funny joke.
Stupid.
It's a funny joke.
Everything is stupid on social media.
If something like that doesn't come from the blue check mark Iowa State football account, it came from a guy that doesn't even have his name on Twitter. It's
Actually,
just 33.
no, I saw it from your guy, John Kurtz. He's the guy that retweeted it out. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, you retweeted it because it's funny.
All right, back after that.
It's the NFL on Sports USA, and we're in Chicago as the Bears host their division foe, the Green Bay Packers. The Monsters of the Midway have Quinn and Mack leading the D, and dual threat Justin Fields under center. The Pack and Rodgers can make things happen with Jones, Cobb, and the sure-handed Devontae Adams.
Throws, end zone caught. Guess who? Devontae Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay.
It's the Packers and the Bears from historic Soldier Field this Sunday on Sports USA.
Kickoff at noon, right here on Wichita's Sports Talk Radio, KGSO.
When it comes to making sure your vehicle is running perfectly on the road, do what I do. Take it to AutoTech on West Central, the one-stop shop. Their trusted ASE-certified technicians are trained to provide regularly scheduled services, such as air conditioning, brakes, tune-ups, fluid changes, and much more. And don't forget, AutoTech is home of the $29.95 oil change. And when it comes to getting new tires put on your vehicle, AutoTech is competitively priced on name-brand tires. AutoTech on West Central. Stop by and see them or go online at autotechwichita.com.
Hey parents, let's talk driver's education. The Wichita Driving School offers classes that make it quick and easy for your teen to learn his or her driving skills. 8 hours of in-class instruction and 6 hours of driving instruction. This is great for busy schedules and conflicts. The Wichita Driving School also offers classes for adults as well. Driver's education completed quickly and effectively at the Wichita Driving School. Visit wichitadrivingschool.com and sign up today. That's wichitadrivingschool.com.
Carrying the crafts of the top designers and an in-house team that specializes in custom design, bridal jewelry, diamonds, and the ability to design a piece or ring just as unique as the recipient. Jewelry Savers in front of Cabela's at K96 and Greenwich Road has earned the reputation as Wichita's best. But don't take my word for it. Ask their customers, or better yet, experience Jewelry Savers for yourself.
We don't want $1 million, just a million friends.
Are you ready for a renovation in your landscape? Would you like to add trees, shrubs, or flowers? Do you need somebody that can help you deciding what to plant? Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061 for a free estimate. Professional Landscaping Services has experienced personnel and the right equipment to do the right job for you. We have over 35 years of experience providing quality work. Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061. We do what we say we'll do for you. Professional Landscaping Services, 832-0061.
American Family Insurance offers you the protection you need to pursue your dreams, even if you take a couple of wrong turns. At American Family, we know your car is more than four wheels that gets you from point A to point B. It's freedom to pursue the things important to you, which is why you want to make sure you have the proper protection. To learn more, get a quote. Contact local American Family agent Brad Woody at 265-6200.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Truck owners, Toppers Plus Truck Accessories has the tonneau cover for you. Protect your truck bed and valuables with a locking truck lid. Choose from hard, soft, folding, or retractable covers. Toppers Plus has top brands like Lear, Undercover, Backflip, X-Stang, Roll and Lock, and more. Work or play, make your truck work for you. Toppers Plus, 5511 West Central in Wichita or toppersplusks.com.
Make your truck work for you.
Clay from Best Body Shop joins us now. What makes you guys so different being locally owned and operated?
We have more of a heart to take care of our community versus see you as a number. We're not the typical big box store that's super friendly with insurance companies. We stand up for our community right here in Wichita, Kansas.
Get in touch with Clay and the entire team at Best Body Shop on West Kellogg, right next to Horton's Furniture, and give them a call at 316-516-3827.
Morning weather on KGSO has been brought to you by the Wichita Driving School, offering personalized driving courses for teens and beginning drivers. Check our East and West location classroom schedules at wichitadrivingschool.com.
Sunshine early today in Wichita with more clouds this afternoon. Some spotty rain possible with a high near 72. Could see light rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder late in the day into the overnight with a low near 48. For your day on Friday, the rain rolls out, the return of sunshine, but cool, a high near 64. With your forecast, I'm Cake meteorologist Frank Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on Sports Radio KGSO.
At 7:49, it's currently 50 degrees.
Join Doug and Mason on the game plan here on Sports Radio KGSO.
Got one final segment left here in the hour before we turn things over to the Glassman Collision Works pit crew. All right, it's not Tuesday. It is Thursday. Just want to reiterate that because typically we have our guy Brent Kimnitz on with us on Tuesday, but a little scheduling conflicts this week, so we wanted to make sure we got him on this week with everything coming out with basketball and all that. Brent, how you doing?
Well, I'm good, and I appreciate you working with me. Tuesday we had a Say-So board member meeting at 7:30, and I didn't know how long I would last. And then yesterday I had a good friend, Jim Schwanke, in town. We went to breakfast. Willie, you'll remember him, played for us. He's now a videographer for us. Jim was a long-time hitting coach, first at Oklahoma State and then LSU. So every time he comes to town, we connect. So you worked with me. Happy to be on today.
No, we're glad that you could kind of make it happen this week because we got a lot that we want to get to. First of all, we're going to start off just real quick here and talk about the fact that you're going to be a proud papa this weekend. Your daughter at Collegiate is a tennis player and going to be playing in the state tournament.
Yeah, they play tomorrow at May South, so that will consume my day. At least I hope so. That means she's winning. But, yeah, Collegiate seeded one, and she's a senior, having a great year. Her and her doubles partner, Marion Gibson, they're having fun and doing a good job. So, yeah, that's tomorrow at May South. I think that's 3A. And, you know, I've gotten where I really enjoy tennis. I tell Danny Bryan and Colin Foster, our coaches at Wichita State, I say, hey, I like your stuff better than any. And I like it best in the winter. When the women are over at Wichita Country Club and the men are at Genesis, I can spend 2 or 3 hours there getting work done and just chilling, watching them. And it's kind of the same way. It's a little bit more nerve-wracking when it's your own, but it's still fun. And kudos to the collegiate team for having another great year.
What? So how much, before your daughter was playing tennis heavily, like how much tennis knowledge did you have? And what does that then make it like for you watching tennis take place to where if you don't understand the sport quite as well, is it more nerve-wracking for you then because you're not really sure at times of what's actually going on?
What a great question, and so true. I know how the scoring is. A lot of people are like, okay, now it's deuce, now it's add-in, now it's add-out. What's that mean? So I 100% get the scoring. Now, sometimes they change the rules. Okay, today we're going to try to 3. Today we're going to 9. Today we're not going to – the deuce is going to be only the first time around. So that changes, so I always have to check on that. But I totally understand the scoring, understand singles, understand doubles, understand body language. That's my whole deal with both my girls forever. Don't let me come in late and know how you're doing based on your body language. So be upbeat, positive, good body language, play with confidence, have fun. But what I don't know, and it's probably good, is strategy. You know, they'll be saying, go get to the net, and all that. That's above my head. My deal is, it's kind of like in baseball, get 3 guys out before they score. My deal is return the ball back. You know, return it back. That's good for me. And if you get the point, hey, good job. So I don't know the ins and outs, which is probably a good thing. But the last point, it is nerve-wracking. I don't say a word. I kind of stand off to the side. I don't clap. I don't yell. I just enjoy tennis, but don't say a word. But my gut is turning a little bit inside sometimes.
I'm surprised you're not one of those guys that, gets all over the referee. Because in tennis, you have to get all over. Is that what they're called? I don't even know what they're called in tennis, but you got to get all over the official. It's just
well,
one
you
of
know
those
who
sports.
the officials are? It'll be different now that they're in the state tournament. You know who the officials are? The kids.
Are they really?
Yes.
Wow.
They make the call.
All right. Well, then you can't get on them then.
Yeah, exactly.
You could.
Now,
I don't know. That might
assuming
work.
It's a bad look. But I'm assuming now that it's state that they will actually have officials.
Yeah, they probably will for a state tournament. All right, before we get to the top of the hour here, we talked a little bit this morning. I personally don't like the fact, and look, it's preseason polls. Who cares? I get it. It gives us something to talk about. But I don't know. I have a hard time with a team that did win the conference championship, that return everybody back, being fourth behind two teams that haven't proven that they could do anything yet in this conference. So, look, I'm okay with Houston being number one. I thought Wichita State should have been 2. Then if you want to go with Memphis because they've had 5 years of great recruiting but still can't win anything, and then SMU, then I'm good with it. But I kind of thought that's where I'd like to see things happen. But I think being at fourth probably gives the team a lot of motivation.
Well, and Tyson Etienne, who was preseason Player of the Year pick, that was his motivation. So they'll kind of feed off him, and good for him. He wasn't, looking at his personal. He got plenty of love, preseason unanimous pick and preseason Player of the Year pick. But yeah, I think it did surprise me a little bit, given the fact that we won it. We have virtually everybody back, all the key pieces. We've made some nice additions. I was surprised, but as a coach, man, we used to jump on anything we could. All right, man, we got to go with the chip on our shoulder. That's every coach in the country, but it works. I mean, if you're like a little us against the world mindset, sometimes that's a good thing.
Now that the fall is feeling like actual fall out there, I know that baseball will get some more of their fall stuff going. What does that schedule kind of look like for people over the next couple of weeks?
Well, they played yesterday, Game 3 with Chuck World Series, because Tuesday got lightning out, I guess. So they played yesterday. Game 4 will be Friday at 3, I believe, and then Game 5 will be Saturday at 1. And I've made most of them. I see some things I like. I swear we got a lot of power. I told Gene yesterday, Stevenson, I said, hey, I think we'll have 3+ guys hit double-figure home runs, some of those left-handed hitters. You start talking about, Garrett Koses, if he stays healthy. And then we got a kid Toll, big left-handed hitter. And then who's the other? Oh, Seth Stroh has made a big jump from last year. He's an athletic outfielder. And then Chuck Ingram, right-handed hitter, made a big jump. Just power, ball comes off his bat. So some guys have made good jumps. We made some nice additions, both, position player-wise and pitching. A lot of times the numbers are distorted because they'll have some games where you can only throw fastball changeup. Sometimes you hold back the guys that you know what you're going to get, like Minska. They don't throw much. Sometimes guys are worn down from throwing spring and summer. So a lot of times people look at results and say, man, we're really going to pitch or we're really going to hit. But I always looked at it, and I know they do too. It's like spring training. It's like an instructional league. So I see a lot of nice pieces, and I tell the baseball guys, I say, hey, I'm your promoter. It's on you guys to live up to what I put out there, but I'm the hype guy. But I think they're going to be good. I think they've got to continue to get better, and I think they will. But I see some nice pieces.
So if they struggle this year, that means that Eric Wedge can go pull his Mac Brown and say that it's not their fault that they're underperforming. It's all on Brent Kimnitz for hyping them up in the preseason.
Yeah, and I'll take it. I can wear it. It's as a coach, if you can always deflect it and say, well, I guess I don't know. I didn't do the recruiting. It was such and such, or most coaches will own it to some degree. But the bottom line is, if you win, everybody's happy. If you don't, it doesn't matter who you're deflecting it to. People are grumbling. I like the saying that a couple things. if you win, there's enough love to go around for everybody. And it's a good thing when nobody cares who gets the credit. You're just winning games, and that's a beautiful feeling. So obviously that's the goal.
All right, we're at the top of the hour. Hard break here, Brent. We got to go here in a minute, but just real quick, was there an official number of how many people attended Shocker Madness the other night?
I didn't see it. It was kind of a late arriving crowd. Early, it didn't look like many were there, but then in the dunk contest and the three-point shooting, was starting to get some more people. The lower bowl, was fairly full, not too much in the upper parts. I don't know. I'd hate to put a number on it, but it was a lively crowd for sure.
All right, we got to run. We're getting to the top of the hour. Hard break. Thanks for coming on today. We'll talk again next Tuesday.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, take care. Brent Kimnitz with Wichita State. Last Man Collision Works Pit Crew. Straight ahead.
This is a Steckline communication station, K230BY, FM 93.9, and AM 1410 KGSO. Wichita proud. It's time for your latest news from the KGSO News Center. Brought to you by MJ's Truck Repair of Mound Ridge, Kansas. Sales and service of the big rigs and trailers, plus ag diesel equipment repair on and off the farm.
From the KQAM News Desk, I'm John Wright. Good morning. Last week, when Spirit Aerosystems sent out an email to its thousands of workers forcing the choice of getting the COVID-19 vaccine or lose their job, Cornell Beard with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, District Lodge 70, didn't agree with it.
If anything, I think that the companies are using the president as a excuse. Those that don't want it, I do not think it should be shoved down your throat. If I don't get the responses, I'll file the appropriate charges.
Spirit Aerosystems said that this is not a choice, as frequent testing is not an option for those who wish not to get the vaccine. A rally is scheduled today in front of the Spirit Aerosystems Administration building. The weather forecast today, mostly sunny. Look for a high near 71 degrees. However, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low around 48. Now here's sports.
Last year, the Wichita State men's basketball team won the American Athletic Conference Championship. This year, they are projected to finish fourth in the preseason. Houston, Memphis, and SMU edged out the Wichita State Shockers for the top 3 spots. The Shockers do return 4 of the top 5 scorers from last season's NCAA tournament qualifier. Wichita State's Tyson Etienne was picked as the preseason player of the year. In other preseason college basketball awards, KU newcomer and senior Remy Martin was named the Big 12's preseason player of the year. From the KGSO Sports Desk, I'm Doug Downs. The Sports Report is built by Burwell Construction. Whether it's a roofing, siding, guttering, windows, or you just want a brand new deck in your backyard, call Burwell Construction or find them online at burwellconstruction.com.
Hi, this is Brian Davis from Davis Liquor Outlet.
And this is Blake Davis with another great deal on Bailey's Irish Cream, 750 milliliters, just $24.99.
And don't forget about our great special on Decoy Cabernet, only $15.99.
Davis Liquor Outlet, each store independently owned and operated.
Excludes 31st and Meridian.
Jesse Soria of Cholitas Mexican Restaurant at Central and Tyler talks a little bit about success.
Each and every one of our customers that come in, we want them to come back. We want them to enjoy their meal. We want them to be happy. If for some reason we send you some food and let's say it doesn't taste right, let us know. I'm going to bend over backwards to take care of you. Our goal 30 years ago was to please every customer, and that is still our goal today.
Cholitas Mexican Restaurant, Central and Tyler.
Hi, this is Blake Davis with Davis Liquor Outlet.
And this is Brian Davis with another great special on Seagram 7 1.75 liters, only $17.99.
And 19 Crimes Cali Red, just $9.99.
Davis Liquor Outlet, each store independently owned and operated.
Excludes 31st and Meridian.
Your local weather on KGSO. Brought to you by Jewelry Savers. Conveniently located off K96 on Greenwich Road. The Kansas trusted jewelry source since 1971. Jewelry Savers.
Sunshine early today in Wichita with more clouds this afternoon. Some spotty rain possible with a high near 72. Could see light rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder late in the day into the overnight with a low near 48. For your day on Friday, the rain rolls out, the return of sunshine, but cool, a high near 64. With your forecast, I'm Cake meteorologist Frank Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on Sports Radio KGSO.
At 8:04, it's currently 50 degrees.
The following is a production of Steckline Communications and Sports Radio 1410 AM and 93.9 FM, KGSO. It's time again for the Glassman Pit Crew to join the game plan on Sports Radio KGSO.
Well, welcome into the Glassman Collision Works pit crew. We would go around the room and we would, make sure that everybody was here and doing the roll call. But that would do us no good because nobody's here. I am here on my own. So you know what? Rockin' Ryan called in. We'll get him on with us right now. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for having me this morning. I just wanted to circle back and talk a little about the OU situation regarding, the Rattler kid. What I'm hearing, and it'd be a great conversation to flesh out with the Sports Animal Zone, Mark Rogers, tomorrow. But Lincoln Riley canceled media time all week long until after the game on Saturday, and he told Rattler on Monday not to come into the facility as a day off, so to speak. But as far as what I'm hearing, both kids are, the Caleb and Rattler are both committed to the team. And as far as this year, he's not going into the portal because even if he went somewhere this year, he couldn't even play. So that's what I'm hearing. And as a long-standing member of BWAA, and quite frankly, very active member that I am of BWAA, I think there's some validity in what Mason said earlier, because what I'm hearing from other folks that are in the Birdwatchers Association of America, there is the yellow-tailed whippoorwill that has been spotted in Norman, and so it's very possible that there was a search for that yellow-tailed whippoorwill, and so that's where that information came from. In regards to the practice field.
All right, well, it's good to know. I'm glad you're reporting that. I mean, from what I've heard, there's been a lot of bird watching going on over the years at Oklahoma. Mostly it's at other people's practice facilities, but that's okay. We understand that, and it'll be fine.
Well, and that's where the native nests of the yellow-tailed whippoorwill generally hide, in those trees outside of the practice facility.
Yeah, we got it. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for the information, and we'll get more tomorrow from Mark Rogers when we have him on.
You got it. Rock it out.
See you, buddy. Thanks. All right. Hey.
Talking birds?
Rockin' Ryan called in while I was waiting for you three to show up.
That's perfect, actually. Was that talking about birds?
Well, it had to do with what's going on down in Oklahoma.
Can you hunt them or anything?
Yeah, sure. Always. Student newspaper was up in some kind of a tower or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they were looking down on the Oklahoma practice field because Lincoln Riley had banned media.
Right.
After making the switch at quarterback.
Yep.
And then they came out and wrote a report that Caleb Williams, who's the freshman, had taken most of the snaps with the starters and all this kind of stuff. And Lincoln Riley got pissed again. And yesterday blew up and basically said, all media is off limits.
What does that have to do with the bird?
Well, Mason made a joke and said that they weren't watching practice. They were out bird watching and just happened to see practice.
Yeah.
Go on. So there you go. How you guys doing?
Terrible.
Why?
Have you watched our two football teams? Have you seen the dumpster fire that the Vegas Raiders have become?
I've seen that dumpster fire.
Yeah. Your team sucks, so you're no better.
Well, we're not much better either.
Yeah, I
mean, all three of the AFC.
Is there anything better in the? Outside of the Chargers, does anybody not suck?
Right. Yeah.
You have a coach.
Who?
Yeah.
Well, you.
Yeah, right.
No, we literally don't have a coach.
Well, you do an interim, but yeah.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is your assistant is probably better than Denver's head coach, so you'll be good.
Did you hear Derek Carr's comments last night?
Love to have. What was that? What
I think they're good comments.
I think they're great comments. By the way, he's very a strong Christian believer. If you didn't know, he's and he said basically, I read basically the entire interview, which they're only releasing parts of it. You know how media takes little snippets of it.
Right.
But he basically said that why doesn't everybody have to open up their emails then? Let's look at everybody's. Let's really get this thing opened up. Every coach, every GM, every player.
Yep.
Let's look a little deeper and see how offensive this really was. And he feels, very negative, or he said that he sinned. That's the word he used, that John Gruden made a sin and that we should forgive him.
Yeah.
Look, I said this the other day, and I'll say it again. What Gruden, the words that he used, are they right? Absolutely not. They're not, and they're not stuff that.
Well, you have ears bigger than Dumbo.
There's
but
not stuff that people should be, saying. But, and I said this the other day, and there was a disagreement. But 99% of the people out there
have said something.
Have either said, emailed, or texted something that hasn't been totally appropriate.
Sure.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
And more than once. And if you say that you don't fall in that category, I'm sorry, you're lying. You live in a glass house.
Everyone sins in some way. And I won't get all political on it, but I'll just say this, Doug. He didn't even work for the NFL at the time. He didn't work for the Raiders at the time. I have a very hard time with going back 12 years ago, or whatever it was, and using some email that was.
Yeah. I mean, and how far do you go back to when he was adult? What would happen if nowadays that when you're 18, they find something when you're 50?
Jaden, some of the stuff that you probably did in college and high school, the things I've done in high school, and I'm sure that.
Yes. I mean, how far do you go? I mean,
I just don't know where it stops.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That's the problem.
And that's what. So Derek Carr said, "Fine, open it up."
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
If you do, then you might as well get rid of the NFL. Because every coach in the NFL will be fired.
I think that's his point.
Mm-hmm.
And probably most owners.
Can you imagine what goes on in the locker room?
Right. And the NBA, and Major League Baseball, and college football.
Doug, Tyler, you guys were athletes. Jaden, I'm sure you were in some locker rooms for other reasons.
Good.
But maybe it's just me. I played on a lot of competitive basketball teams in my life. There is some language used and some things said about other teams and things that I don't get it. I just thought that was part of it, and I guess that's not the case anymore.
Well, I can tell you this, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I've had plenty of coaches over the last 2 or 3 days that I've spoke to that have said, I sure hope they don't go back and check my stuff. I mean, look,
Who found the report and why?
Well,
was that a Kansas City Chiefs looked that up?
No, this is what happened.
My idea.
The Washington football team was being looked into on some things that they had done, and as the process of the Washington football team being investigated, they went through 350,000 emails that came into that organization over the last 12-year period, and they found these emails from John Gruden that he had sent during that time period that had things on there that weren't appropriate.
Who has the time to go through 350,000 emails?
Well, for $350,000, you find the time because you don't they eventually say, "Hey, call the media and say, hey, guess what I got? How much you want to pay for it?"
Here's what I want to know, guys. At what point in time, and this is not just on the NFL, because we're going to get into this a little bit with NASCAR too. At what point in time do we just start getting back to what sports are supposed to be? And that is athletes on a playing surface, a racetrack, whatever it is, entertaining fans that are willing to either purchase the tickets to go or watch them on television, instead of all of this other crap that we have going on.
I honestly thought it was going to be this year, and I kind of felt like it turned out that way for a while because everyone realized how much we missed sports last year. Sports wasn't the same, no fans, no nothing. When football came back this year, to me, it felt normal again.
It did.
The brotherhood and the sisterhood that are in sports amongst athletes should be enough that if we need to make changes in the world, then those are the folks that ought to be able to really spearhead that, from the simple fact that, look, I played sports with every race out there.
Yeah.
And I never once saw them as anything other than a human being.
Right.
And so you could take that and put that out across the world. But what's happening right now is instead, I think, in my opinion, it's getting divided even more, because now you've got All these different messages that are on the back of football helmets.
Yeah.
Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. You've got some teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers who don't have any messages at all on the back of their helmets. Now, did that come from the owner? Did that come from the head coach? How do the players feel about that? Is that causing divide? You've got all this stuff going on.
Just play.
Just go out and do what you're supposed to do, and that's bring people together. I have stood in stadiums next to people of all races. I've stood in stadiums next to people that are, they're rooting for the team that my team's playing. And guess what?
Yeah, you get along.
We've had some beers and high-fived each other.
Yeah.
Because we
sure.
just get along and have fun. That's what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Yeah, but nowadays
the wokeness that's come in is just
Yeah.
incredibly it's over the top.
Yeah, stadiums and people are fighting each other even on the same team.
Can you believe how many fights there
Yeah.
is and
Yeah.
videos on Facebook
It's
every week?
ridiculous.
Yes.
Quit fighting at this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
I mean, they're knocking them out.
Yeah,
Cold.
we saw it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
and
crazy.
There's one every week.
Remember they got
Arrowhead, boy, it's-
Situation X or whatever the guy's name. Extreme. Extreme got beat up.
Arrowhead's the UFC fighting.
And it's
Yeah.
their own fans fighting each other.
Yeah, that's
now.
even worse. It's not even. Yeah,
the hell's wrong with you?
I know. Right. Yeah.
It makes no sense. Now I want to see more fighting in NASCAR tracks amongst the drivers, but
Yeah,
not the
right.
fans.
They're also not 40 beers deep either.
Yeah. Right. That's true.
It's just crazy.
They're pretty
to me.
sober.
It's crazy to me that the NFL is being so woke over everything like this, and then you hire Snoop Dogg and Eminem as your entertainment for halftime.
Yeah.
Really? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's crazy to me. Crazy. And NASCAR's the same way. Look, we talked about this last week. Bubba Wallace won the rain-delayed race at Talladega.
Yeah.
Yep.
But during the rain delay, did we need to really go back and revisit everything that happened from before? Because we found out that it really wasn't a noose. It was a garage pulley.
Uh-huh.
If it would have truly been something, then fine. Let's go back and revisit it. We
Right,
need to.
But since it was nothing,
But it
proved-
wasn't.
Yeah.
It's
So
just bringing more stuff up.
Why
this
they have to
division.
regenerate?
Right.
Yeah.
It's bringing more division up, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
To get to NASCAR, I got to talk about what was the most exciting thing for me this weekend on NASCAR. The interviews after the race, they go to our buddy Chase Elliott, who obviously is still feuding with Harvick because you've seen what happened out on the racetrack.
Oh, dang it, I didn't.
And Elliott, after the races, they go to him and they asked him, what'd you think of your day? And he goes, hell, where did I finish? He honestly didn't. I don't think he actually knew. And he's like, I think you got 12th, the announcer tells him. And he goes, well, the car's beat to hell. And he said, you know what? Merry Christmas. Enjoy the rest of your season, Kevin.
Yeah, Merry off-season
Merry
Christmas.
off-season.
Oh.
Because you're done.
Because he's done
out
anyway.
Of the chase.
He's out of the chase.
Yeah, that's
I
funny.
love it, dude.
That's
I
funny.
love it. And he said, well, I can still see you're upset with Kevin. And he said, yeah, I'm pissed. He said, he drives just like this every week, and I'm sick of it.
And then they talked to Kevin, and Kevin basically said, well, I guess it's what you learn as a life lesson or something like that. Because they asked Kevin, they said, did you take Chase out on purpose? And Harvick just kind of had this little grin, and
Yeah, and
he
he's-
goes,
it's a
let's just
lesson."
call it a life lesson.
Ah, dang. Did we all take Chase Elliott?
Yeah, but he finished 12th.
No, he did.
Did he?
He was
I thought
way
he
worse
was-
than that.
I knew I was
Yeah, it was
wavering.
way worse.
Yeah.
That was one where I was wavering. I was like,
All right, welcome to the Glassman Collision Works Pit Crew.
Until the day comes that there's consequences for people that print false stories like this loop instead of a hangman's noose and hold those people accountable, it will continue to go on.
you're probably right.
Yeah, probably right.
What makes somebody think that that's a hangman's noose?
I don't know. I mean, look, again.
That's what I'm saying. You get that person that started that story, and you flash his picture on front of the news and say that this idiot did this. Some of that stuff could quit.
Mm-hmm.
In my,
I'm good for anything to help stop it.
yeah.
No
Well,
doubt.
you guys have a great day.
All right,
See
thanks,
ya.
Ray. Appreciate it. All right, back to the race this last weekend.
So it was an exciting race, guys? I did not see it.
Yeah, it was okay.
Is that right? Yeah.
It was okay.
It's the Roval.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it in the chase, especially as the last race.
No, well, I mean, where else do you put it?
Yeah.
Put it at a super speedway. Everyone's upset
We're-
about that.
We're back to Texas though.
Yeah.
If we go to a mile and a half, we're
Then
going
we
to
go
say
to
it's
Kansas.
boring.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't a bad fit, I don't think.
No, I don't mind the Roval. Actually, it's one of the more exciting
Yeah, it's
road course type
sure.
races.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Last race of a round is kind of crazy. I know why NASCAR did it. They wanted it to be that way.
Sure.
And I think it worked out. I mean, on the guys that didn't make it, probably are the guys we expected wasn't going to make it through.
Yeah.
I have one complaint from the whole weekend.
What's that?
Watched a video, and they had the next-gen car there on the course.
Mm-hmm.
None of it really bothers me other than the number.
Where they put it on the front of the drive.
Yeah, you don't like it up there on the fender?
I know change is needed a lot, but I can't get past it.
Does it look that weird?
It is kind of weird.
It's odd.
It's like putting your eyeballs on your chest.
Sure.
And leaving your nose and mouth.
Right.
There.
It's just
Well, you
odd.
know what it'd be like? It'd be
It's like a Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah,
It's wrong.
Pretty much.
It'd be like if the NFL just put the numbers on top of the shoulder pads only.
Right. Yeah.
And then you put like a sponsor logo on the front and back.
It's
That's
weird.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year I won't notice it, but
yeah,
right now it bugs me.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this new car is. I'm still not a big fan of the one lug. I think it takes
The one
some
lug
away.
don't really bother me as much anymore. You know, like sprint car racing, they run one lug on the back. Indy cars do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like total crazy to me, but
I think the only thing I don't like about it in NASCAR is it's going to change pit stops. You know, and pit stops are such a big part of
I don't think it's going to change it as much as we think because they still have to get it off and get it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's just you're done.
Yeah, but I bet it ain't that simple.
I don't know.
I bet one nut is what it takes to do 3
But
regular.
do you think it has a locking pin that goes through it?
No, I bet it's reverse thread.
And does the nut
On the one
have
side.
to be started by hand, or is it the machine's going to do it?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Because that
could
I
that
think
could add
they'll have
some
to
times.
start it by hand.
That actually
Yeah.
would
Could be
change
wrong.
things right there.
Yeah, right. If you got to put your hands in there.
Yeah.
And
That
then-
would change
and then
things.
get the machine on it.
First guy that loses one of those is not going to have a very good day.
Right, exactly.
They're going to have them hooked in their ears with earrings.
Right, like big loops.
Fumbling it around. And
Right.
It goes flying.
And it goes flying and go, where is it? You go chasing it out somewhere.
Sometimes I wish they
Yeah.
covered pit road more because I never realized how much of athletes some
violent.
guys really are.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's crazy
I would
too.
not want to fight anybody on that pit road.
No, big boys.
A lot of movement.
It's not only are they athletes, it's how it's choreographed. I mean, it's everything. I mean, pit road to me has always amazed me.
Yeah.
On how these guys
Yeah.
can do that.
And for them all to come in at the same time, and the noise and the craziness, yeah, absolutely.
And especially guys that like need to put a piece of tape on the front end. You see that guy like at the very last minute
Yeah.
slap that on, basically as the car's pulling away.
Yeah.
I mean, and getting it right in the right
Or
spot.
the gas guy that fills the car up. He'll kind of walk with the car the first step, just to get that last. Who knows how much is in it? Maybe last 1/16 of a gallon.
Sure.
Well, and you see some of those gas guys that like use their foot and put it in the middle of the wheel
Yeah.
to roll it back to the wall while they're filling up
Yep.
Yeah.
the car. I mean, pit road is
Yeah.
always just
How much
it's
does that
crazy.
big gas can weigh?
I don't know how much. I'm judging by the size. I'm betting they're 15 gallon.
I was going to say
Yeah,
15
I bet
gallons.
they are
Yeah.
too. So
Times about 8
About
pounds.
8. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you when
Probably 130
yeah,
pounds.
at least 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Imagine
120.
the can's probably aluminum.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, when Corey LaJoy came here a couple of years ago, and we had a chance to meet him. He had a couple of empty ones and went and picked it up. Very, very light, empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
extremely light.
So probably 120
Has to be
pounds
aluminum,
full.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably something like that.
I
All
wonder
right,
if they're pressurized.
To get the fuel out quicker,
Yeah.
put some air pressure in them.
Push it.
Did you notice was there a Schrader valve on it?
isn't that? Yeah, there's a valve on it, and it kind of goes over like over a hub, and you push it in,
Right.
and it just, I mean, it like sucks it down. I think that's what that plastic tube is,
Right.
there on it.
Yeah, has to do
Because
something.
I know they're vented as well, though, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, points from the week.
Oh, yeah.
I'd wind up.
Well, you ended up pretty good.
Awesome.
Jaden, you won the week.
Nice.
Again.
Nice.
17 total points.
Nice.
I was second, Doug,
Yep.
with 29. Doug, you were third with 41.
Oh,
Tyler, 46.
here we go.
It's a battle between you and Tyler to sign the horse's ass poster.
Not to interrupt you guys real quick.
We got plenty of time to come
Plenty of
back.
time.
A NASCAR gas can's 11 gallons.
Oh, okay.
11
It's
gallons.
70 pounds.
Wow. There you go.
There you go.
And the tank's 22 gallons. on
So
the
they're
car.
only
So
putting
that's why
half
they-
in.
that's
Or they
why
need
they
to put
put
Well,
two.
a lot of times
They
they'll
put
grab a
two.
second.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, when they got time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's the overall points?
Overall, Jaden's kind of walking the dog a little bit. He's at 186. I'm in second with 247. Doug, you're at 276. Tyler, you're at 280. You're only 4 points back off of Doug right now.
I'm only 100 back.
But you started this thing in the lead.
I did. I had a flat tire.
Yeah,
maybe 2.
You got to make up some time, Tyler.
Brad
You're really gonna have to
Keselowski,
hammer
once
down.
again, Brad
He
Keselowski.
screwed you.
Yeah, killed me. 20
Truex
points.
got me.
I've had a guy every week that's really.
No, Truex got Tyler.
Tyler. You really, I mean,
I didn't do
Chase,
that bad.
actually.
Yeah, Chase Elliott was my worst
Right.
finish with 12.
And at one point in time, I thought we were all going to get like 31 from Chase Elliott.
And by the way, Kyle Larson wins. We just glossed over that.
Yeah, but did you see at one point in time, and this is what I didn't like about it, at one point in time, he was out of advancing on, out of moving on.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like he was below the cut line.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird to watch as the race goes on because he had early on, didn't he get in a wreck early on?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Knocked the fender off of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he dropped way back, and then their team did a hell of a job of getting back in there and get him going. But holy cow,
Well,
we're late.
I thought he's already got a.
We got a break.
Yeah, we better.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were running behind. Just kind of caught
We're up
caught in
against
everything. But yeah, but then he did a good job of coming back and obviously won the race. But at one point in time, I'm like, wow, he has had a chance of not even advancing on, which would have been sad. All right, back after this, it is the Glassman Collision Works Pit Crew.
When severe weather hits south central Kansas, you trust Sports Radio KGSO and the Cakeland First Alert Weather Team. Stay tuned to KGSO for your latest severe weather updates as we keep you informed on hail, rain, tornadoes, and flash floods. With our Cake TV weather partners, it's your on-the-hour severe weather updates with the Cake First Alert Weather Team and Wichita's Sports Radio, 1410 AM and 93.9 FM, KGSO.
As we head into fall, it's time to start thinking about all our favorite tailgating and game day foods. At Yoder Meats, we want to help, and we've got all the right products to make any meat-eating experience great. Ribs, pork butt, brisket, multiple sausage and brat flavors, rolled and tied chuck roast, and so much more. Stop by your favorite Yoder Meats location today to pick out your next fall event's main meat course. Follow us on Facebook for all the latest information and specials. Taste the old-fashioned flavor at Yoder Meats in Yoder and 3 locations in Wichita.
The warm summer heat can cause issues with your vehicle's glass.
Hey, Glassman.
If not properly taken care of, that little chip can turn into a full-length crack.
Hey, Glassman.
The Glassman can fill chips before it's too late, and if you do need a new windshield, you can count on the Glassman to take the time to do the proper calibrations your vehicle needs for all the safety features to work just like they did from the factory. Chips, cracked, or broken glass.
Hey, Glassman.
The Glassman at heyglassman.com. For a clear view, call the Glassman crew.
For accidents, hail, or a fallen tree, Collision Works is all you need. They use the latest technology and give you a lifetime guarantee. They got trained professionals working there. They do quality work and their price is fair. For accidents, hail, or a fallen tree, Collision Works is all you need. Collision Works.
Jeremy Edwards with Norris Collision Center of Goddard explains the Norris Collision Center difference.
That small door ding that's been bothering them since they bought the car, the air noise that it's always had since they've bought the car. We'll go over and above what just the insurance company says just to make sure it's a very memorable experience inside and out, and go that extra mile for them because we can afford to do that. We can take the time, as much time as we want, to make sure it's perfect.
Norris Collision Center of Goddard. See more at norriscollisioncenter.com.
Are you ready for a renovation in your landscape? Would you like to add trees, shrubs, or flowers? Do you need somebody that can help you deciding what to plant? Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061 for a free estimate. Professional Landscaping Services has experienced personnel and the right equipment to do the right job for you. We have over 35 years of experience providing quality work. Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061. We do what we say we'll do for you. Professional Landscaping Services, 832-0061.
Andel Ready Mix Central Incorporated has superior service, quality concrete, and cutting-edge equipment. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial jobs, large or small, they do it all. For your next concrete job, call today, 316-832-0063. Andel Ready Mix, this mud's for you. Andel Construction offers roller compacted concrete, cement soil stabilization, and dirt services. Andel Ready Mix and Andel Construction can help you with your next project. Call 316-832-0063 or go to Andel Ready Mix or AndelConstruction.com.
If you're the owner of a flat roof, whether the property is commercial, business, or residential, you know a flat roofing system is different than any other system. That's why when it comes to a flat roof that's built to stay, the only name to know is Ray. W-R-A-Y Ray Roofing Incorporated aims to provide the best designed and most effective roofing system for each customer while maintaining a highly economical balance. Taking pride with meticulous work on each project is Ray Roofing, online at WRAYRoofing.com.
Join me for the Dan Patrick Show every day at 9 right here on Fox Sports Wichita, 1410 AM and 93.9 FM, KGSO.
Now back to the Glassman Pit Crew on KGSO.
The Glassman Klizworks Pit Crew, right here on Wichita's Sports Station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM, KGSO. I'm trying to wait for you to get done.
Sorry, guys.
Well, we're having a conversation. Jaden, a dumpy guy.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to remember the guy. No, we'll figure it out.
All right, did you get it all done?
Yeah, we're all done. Yeah, it's all good.
We can take another break here. If we
No.
Well, we came in and listened to you talk to someone for 5
Well, they
minutes.
had to because we were late.
Because you guys were 5 minutes late.
I walked in here at 8:02, and you do 3 minutes of commercials, so I was early.
You didn't walk in here at 8:02 because the show starts at 8:04.
Wrong.
You need to change your clock.
Oh, I'm on dirt track time.
Did you get a new phone?
No, everyone thinks that every time they see this.
Yeah, it's just
that's
the case.
real leather.
Right. Yeah.
He's an idiot.
All right, so here are the guys that advanced on to the round of 8. Kyle Larson's at the top, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Ryan Blaney.
Well,
So
okay.
right now, those are the 4 that are above the cut line or off the bubble. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski are the final 4. So those 4 are considered on the bubble, which I don't know how they really do that. I don't know why you would do that for the first round of the next.
What's that?
Put people on the bubble, I guess. I mean, because any of these guys could win in this
It's just
next
for
race.
something for fans to look at.
I guess.
I mean,
Blaney's,
if you were into the next round and you were on the bubble, you'd probably want to know, right?
Yeah.
here's where the guys on the bubble are: -1, -2, -11, -16. Doesn't get real hard to get off the bubble at that point.
When KGSO puts all their employees on the list and you see your name at the bottom, does that make you want to?
My name's never at the
work
bottom.
harder?
Well, exactly. Doug works hard. I seen him over at the Bishop Carroll Capon game last week.
That was
he
fun.
He was there pre-game for quite a while. I was there pretty early, and then
I heard that was quite a
And
game.
then the game was over pretty late, and Doug was still there.
Yeah. Right.
Hell of a game.
I got there at 4:30 and taped down cords and did all that fun stuff. But that was a great game.
Amazing he goes to football games every week and still never made a dirt track.
Because he's
race.
wiped out.
I have to call the games. I'm not just going to watch. I'm working, Tyler.
Tyler,
Well, we'll let you call the race.
Kind of. Eric ain't gonna let me in the booth.
You know,
Don't
sexy
throw me
Rex.
out.
You know, sexy Rex. He
Yeah,
can rub elbows.
Did you guys get in
Yeah,
a lot
how'd
of
that
trouble last
go?
week? How'd that go?
He's actually, I think he's kind of run with
Sort
it.
of coming around to it
Yeah,
now
I think-
because of you, Doug.
Not me. I didn't say a word.
No, you said he should
could take it and run with it.
Yeah.
Oh well,
I
would, but
talked to him about T-shirts, and
Yeah.
absolutely.
nope, I didn't say a word about it. I was just like, I thought this was an agreed upon deal amongst
No,
all of you.
It was a inside
And that's
joke.
when I said, well, yeah, take it and run with it. Make some money off that deal.
Yeah, you can come out and help call this weekend's race if you'd like, buddy.
The
Don't
Enduro?
come to this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
We were supposed to be able to go drive the car.
Okay,
We
well,
still can.
You
It's
never
out there.
call.
It's out there.
I was over there
It's
the
at
other
I
day.
bet
It's at the track.
It's probably stuck in a corner somewhere, ready to go.
At the track.
Yeah, at the track. That's what I mean.
Does it run and everything?
Well,
for
it
the
better.
Enduro?
Does it run?
Does it,
You think
Wait.
we would take it out
It
there
better.
if it didn't run?
does it
Yeah.
run and
Look
everything?
at JR. He's well.
Well, kind of.
I'm not even going
It's
to get
fine.
into
It's
it.
a runner.
Yeah, it's going to win.
I drove it to 81 Speedway.
Did you really?
Put a D tag on it and I drove it.
There you go.
Without the glass.
Listen,
I'm kidding. I didn't.
it runs great.
We had our buddy Cody take it for us.
So the enduro race this weekend.
This weekend, 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
150 laps, right?
150 laps or 2 hours.
Start at
whatever
noon.
comes first. Starts
Okay,
at 3.
okay, there we go.
3, right?
Starts
Okay,
at 3. It'll be
yeah.
over by 5.
Right. I was getting ready to say, hopefully it's not 5 hours, but
I mean,
so it's a 2-hour limit.
We
that makes
basically
sense.
we think and we're going to be turning about 18, 19 second laps in that
Probably
thing.
22.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
4.
Sure. So
here's what's going to happen.
I'm ready.
We're either going to be in contention and do well, and have fun.
Yeah. Everyone's going to have fun.
If this pile breaks down on
Right.
me in the first 10 laps,
Yeah.
it is extremely against the rules to get out because they'll just leave
Sure.
the car on the track.
And they don't want you to get out
and
for
they can
safety
ban
reasons.
me
Of
from
course.
81 Speedway, but I'm not sitting
It-
in that
it-
pile
for-
of iron
for an hour and a half.
for 2 hours. Wait, 21 other
Well, is it
3,800
Can't
pound
you move
cars.
the car off with a caution?
We don't have cautions
There's no cautions.
unless the track is blocked.
So some people will be sitting in that thing
Yeah, they will.
forever.
Or there's an extremity
But
lane on
now
the
that seems like to me that
Now,
that's
me,
an obstacle.
because-
That's more dangerous.
Because of my position, I'm going to say that people need to remain in their car for safety.
Yeah.
Now, the race car driver in me says, I'm getting that blank out of that
Absolutely. I
thing.
don't want to be sitting in
I
a
ain't sitting there,
blockade
'cause
in the middle of the
what-
road.
Hey, what are they going to do, DQB?
Right. I
Okay,
get it.
wait. How fast are these cars going to go around?
65, 70.
So if your car breaks down on lap
kilometers or mile per hour?
Yeah, right. And believe me, you're going to be out there for an hour and a half.
if your car breaks down on lap 2, you're sitting there for another
No,
hour and
I'm out.
and 50 minutes while people are buzzing past you at 70.
Yeah.
Right. I'm out of that thing.
Yeah, I'm out.
How fast will you think they go? 70?
50.
I'll
You
say
really-
65.
You think so?
50 miles.
Just because of the traffic? Just everyone in there all
Well, I just
banging on
mean,
each other.
A regular A
Hell,
mod
it's gonna
out
be
there.
like this.
Joey's car.
Everybody.
Joey's car is going to do 100.
No.
Ain't nobody going to do 100.
Jaden, nobody's going around the track like it's meant to be. It's going to be all swerving in
Exactly.
and out of
And
junk
banging-
cars that
sure.
are
Yeah,
broke
that are
down.
parked.
Yeah.
They're like jam cars.
We'll red flag the thing if there's a safety concern or a car is blocking. At that point, people can get out.
Okay. Yeah. Just get the thing towed out of there. But
No. The car stays.
the car stays.
Yeah.
That'll be great. There'll be cars all over the
This
place.
is called an obstacle course, not
yeah,
an enduro.
right. And then it goes down to 30 miles an hour.
Listen, there's some people. I think I haven't really asked Tyler, but we're not like. I mean, we're just gonna go have fun. That's
Yeah,
what it's about for us.
sure.
There's some people that are pretty serious.
Right.
Have you done
Pays
this before?
$1,000. No, I've never done this.
So this has never been
I've
done
never
out
been
the track?
No, it has. Tyler won the last one, I think, ever out there.
So
which
how
was
many cars break
15
down
years ago.
typically and are left on
Half
the track?
of them.
Let's say there's 25 start. I bet 150 laps later, I'm going to say 8 finish.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a lot. The majority of them are going
And
to die.
that many are left on the track. You have to go. You
Our-
have to
our
figure out
car-
the way around.
Well, if your car dies or something, a
By
lot
the
of
time
people
you might
limp it to the
limp it
infield.
home. Yeah, limp it
right.
back. Yeah, get it off the track.
I can just imagine though that
Yeah,
all of a
right.
sudden, you
Yeah.
stop. You're right in the middle of the turn.
Sure, right? Yeah, it's just it.
We've had a few little issues, little bugs that we're working out on
Little
the car.
bumps in the road.
Yeah,
We'll make it past.
That's literally what caused it.
that'd be fun. It sounds like fun though.
Yeah. No. Well, it looks like the weather's gonna be great.
Getting very lucky. It looks like 70
Yeah.
degrees on Saturday, so that's perfect. Holding out for that spooktacular though.
We did
October
paint it.
30th.
We did get our car painted and lettered up. Midwest Ramp got us some stickers for it, and our headline sponsor, Broadway Truck and Auto, we got them on the car as well.
There you go.
All right.
You got to come out, Doug.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna try.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
try. I really
yeah.
am. I got to see what's going on.
Are you doing the Bishop
I got a
game
busy,
Friday?
I am doing the Bishop Carroll game on.
I'll be there.
Friday.
Did you see the temperatures?
Yeah, it's gonna be like 42.
Not where I'm at, because I'm in the booth with you.
Oh, okay. We'll
I was
make
gonna
room
say
for
you won't go watch a race under 60 degrees, and you're gonna go to a football game when it's
My
40.
daughter's cheering. I don't really have a choice.
Oh no! Now is when it kind of gets a little. You get into playoff time.
Yeah.
Starts getting a bit chilly.
How will this game go? Just real quickly, and then we'll go back to NASCAR. We play West.
Look,
Carroll West.
Bishop Carroll's ranked number 1 in 5A in the state.
Yeah.
West has won 2 games. West has got a few injury deals. They've got a few number problems as far as the number of
62 to
kids.
7.
I mean, I would expect Bishop Carroll to probably be okay on Friday, but that's why you play the game every Friday. We'll see. You got West, you have East, and then we head to the playoffs.
How's Campus doing this year?
I haven't looked at the record. I think they've won a couple of games.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's Newton doing?
They've
Newton
won 2.
is not doing very
They've
well.
won 2 games.
Actually, no, they've won 1.
Oh, they beat Goddard,
They beat Goddard last week was their first
which
win.
is crazy.
Yeah, Goddard's struggling this year. So But a lot of good football still to play. There's no doubt about it. And then we get into the playoffs, and this thing goes all the way until the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Wow.
For the state championship game. So we still got about, a month and a half left of some high school football.
So we go to Texas this weekend.
Yep.
Got
Texas.
a caller.
Yep. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Glassman Collision Works Pit Crew.
Hey, we used to have an exhibit at the fair every year. About 25, 30 years ago, they had an Enduro. And this guy had to turn his brand new Cadillac into his wife through a divorce. And he knocked the windows out of that Cadillac and drove it in the Enduro.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
And everybody on that track wanted to hit that Cadillac.
I hope he give it back to her. When
He
was
did.
done.
He had to do it on Monday, and that thing was tore up.
That's right. Yeah, I
That's
did hear
funny.
about that. That's kind of a famous. That's not a folklore or a myth.
No, I was there. I watched it.
It's a real deal. That'd be
It's a real
good.
deal.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
All right,
cool.
guys.
Thanks for calling
Thanks.
in.
Appreciate it. All right, real quick before we get to break. Yes, we go to Texas this week. So, and I think it's a day race, right? Not a night race. Then we have Kansas in this next round. So Texas to Kansas. Do we pick 4 at Texas or 3?
Doesn't matter to me. I'll go with 4.
Let's go 4.
Don't we usually at Texas just
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's a little bit faster?
It's a bigger track.
Yeah, we go to 4.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah. I
One
guess.
duplicate.
You guys are inching to get me. That's why you want 4 for more of a chance. I know all 3. Look at
Well,
look
yeah,
at
you
you.
pick last,
Look at all
too.
you guys. You guys all look like you just ate them. Look at you.
You pick last, too.
Give me a break.
All right, back with our picks. Right here on the Glassman Collision Works Pit Crew, Wichita Sports Station, 1410 AM, 93.9 FM KGSO.
Football season is here. Join the Big Talker, KQAM, every Friday for your high school football game of the week. Follow KQAM as we travel around South Central Kansas and bring you the best in high school football all season long. It's high school football. It's on KQAM. And it's all presented by
Dondlinger Construction, Taco Prano, the Wichita Barbecue Store, the Keg Sports Bar and Grill, MJ's Truck Repair in Mound Ridge, and A&J's Music Room.
Hey parents, let's talk driver's education. The Wichita Driving School offers classes that make it quick and easy for your teen to learn his or her driving skills. 8 hours of in-class instruction and 6 hours of driving instruction. This is great for busy schedules and conflicts. The Wichita Driving School also offers classes for adults as well. Driver's education completed quickly and effectively at the Wichita Driving School. Visit wichitadrivingschool.com and sign up today. That's wichitadrivingschool.com.
Are you ready for a renovation in your landscape? Would you like to add trees, shrubs, or flowers? Do you need somebody that can help you deciding what to plant? Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061 for a free estimate. Professional Landscaping Services has experienced personnel and the right equipment to do the right job for you. We have over 35 years of experience providing quality work. Call Professional Landscaping Services at 832-0061. We do what we say we'll do for you. Professional Landscaping Services, 832-0061.
We're in optometry at 21st and Tyler with a few words about computer vision syndrome or digital eye strain. It's a real thing. In the past couple of years, a lot of us have found ourselves with increased time staring at computer screens. Where in Optometry knows that prolonged time looking at the computer screen can cause eye strain, headaches, blurred vision, or dry eyes. Where in Optometry can prescribe lenses specifically for computer use. Where in Optometry, WAREN optometry.com.
In sports, success is measured in the number of points scored, in games won, and in championships earned. At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in our community support, in being there when you need us. In fact, 9 out of 10 people surveyed with a claim would recommend Shelter to a friend. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call the Trevor Harris Agency at 316-942-7887.
Jewelry Savers, K96 and Greenwich Road. You know, people may think Jewelry Savers is just for folks getting married. Probably because they've got about the best selection of engagement and wedding bands in all of South Central Kansas. But Jewelry Savers is so much more. Repairs for any jewelry, and in most cases, next day turnaround. Quite frankly, the name says it all. Jewelry Savers, with something for every budget and finance options available.
What do you get when you add great service and excellent food? El Agave Mexican Restaurant, of course. With 2 Wichita locations, El Agave East on North Rock Road and out west on Maze Road just across from New Market Square, El Agave has daily food and drink specials. Wednesdays and Thursdays, get your margaritas on for only $2.99. And don't forget the food. Find the full menu by texting tacos to 71441. El Agave Mexican Restaurant, east at Rock Road and west at Maze Road.
Morning weather on KGSO has been brought to you by the Wichita Driving School, offering driver's education and defensive driving courses for both teens and beginning drivers. Check classroom schedules at wichitadrivingschool.com.
Sunshine early today in Wichita with more clouds this afternoon. Some spotty rain possible with a high near 72. Could see light rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder late in the day into the overnight with a low near 48. For your day on Friday, the rain rolls out, the return of sunshine, but cool, a high near 64. With your forecast, I'm Cake meteorologist Frank Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on Sports Radio KGSO.
At 8:44, it's currently 50 degrees.
Now back to the Glassman Pit Crew on KGSO.
Welcome back into the Glassman Collision Works Pit Crew as we go through the final segment right here. It is our pick segment. So Jaden has the lead in the overall points.
Yes, sir.
Then JR.
Yep.
Then me, then Tyler.
Yep.
But everybody's
We're all
fairly
within
close,
striking
right?
distance, and we're picking 4 because everything's bigger in Texas.
All
No, is that normally what we pick on
Yes.
this track?
In Texas, normally we do pick 4.
All right.
The 2 super speedways in Texas.
I got you.
Normally. And last year, I think, during
No,
the chase.
see, Jared just made a face like, maybe not.
I was looking at my phone, Jaden Randall.
Last year in the chase, actually, Jaden, I thought we picked 4 throughout all 10 races. But
I think you're right.
this year, I guess we're not doing it.
Okay.
We're back to 3. And then we got this stupid duplicate rule again of only 1, but you can do it at any time. It's not just after the first one. So you can do it at any time.
Time now for the weekly picks on the Glassman Pit Crew.
So we go with Tyler first.
He's kind of used to this.
And me.
Yep.
I'm not going to miss this race.
All right, Tyler, lead us off, buddy.
I'll take Kyle Larson.
I will take Kyle Busch.
I will take Joey Logano.
Ugh. Man.
Remember, you can do a duplicate.
Right, I know it. I'm going to go Hamlin.
Not a single duplicate yet, Doug.
Hamlin.
Figured here.
Jared, who'd you take?
Truex Jr.
Jared?
I took Logano.
Now you're taking Truex.
Now it's my turn. I'm going to go. Man, I just don't see it. I'm taking. I'm going to take Chase Elliott.
You can still take Chase.
I know, right? Yeah, I got it.
I mean, I wouldn't, but.
Right. We'll go Blaney.
Really wanted Blaney, huh?
Tyler, your hair's getting long. You need a haircut soon, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I need to go.
All right.
Hate going.
There you go.
Oh, let's see here. I think I'm gonna take Willie B. He looks like a Texas boy. Like he's gonna win there.
No. Looks stupid in a cowboy hat. Can you say that?
Oh boy.
Kind of offensive.
John Gruden got fired.
Right.
I'm just curious.
Doug, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm
Boy.
Doug, don't take who I want.
This guy got me last week, but I just think he's got to do. I'm going with Brad Keselowski.
Thank you. This is a little bit of a stretch in the third round. I understand that. But I believe in him for some reason in Texas.
I know who he's going with.
He's a dirt track driver at heart.
Christopher Bell.
No.
Nope. I know.
Tyler.
Even worse.
Reddick.
Yeah, you're right. Tyler's and dirt tracks go
Yeah,
well.
they're not very good. I mean, it's like getting Earnhardt Jr.
Wow.
Well, I guess I'm going to run up the pole and go Harvick.
You love running up the pole.
Right?
Fourth pick. I'll take Christopher Bell.
This is where I get screwed.
Oh, yeah.
No, because you
always
you
pick
don't.
this random dude.
No.
Right? That does okay.
Yeah.
But
Can you go get some glasses?
But
by
you
the way?
still
They've
have
been
a
broke for
duplicate
months.
that you can use,
That's true.
right?
Nope.
Yes, this is what you guys said last
Nope.
week.
We said you could do it in the second round, is what we said.
Yes.
That ain't
Not in the
Jaden.
third or fourth
Right?
round.
Oh, you guys are so full of crap.
We said 2 rounds of duplicates.
2 rounds.
And no, you did not.
For some reason, you guys
did
had
that. You
taken. You guys
changed the
ate some weird
rules
cereal
every
something where
time.
you
'Cause
completely. It was so out
you
of
did
your.
it in the
was so out of
third
your
round.
realm.
No,
When we
we took
called
him in
you
the
out on it.
second
No, it was in the
round.
third.
Yeah,
You go back and look.
I did. Here's
You
what
guys
happened.
were really screwed up.
What happened is the first person would never get the duplicate if you could only do it in the first round.
That's why you do 2 rounds. That way, the guy that picks first can get a
He
chance.
took him
to
in the
duplicate.
third round a couple of weeks ago.
No,
and
he
I
that's
actually
didn't.
tried.
Yeah, and
but
that's when we said no.
That-
That's
I
what we go,
tried. It
no,
didn't
you
work.
can't do that.
And I even said, so
Yes.
you mean I can take a duplicate in the last round? Yeah.
I tried to pull the mic
By
over
the
your
way,
eyes.
you still have the Bubba Wallace penalty you have to pay.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I've got it
No, I
written
don't.
down.
No, I don't.
No, no.
Where did he finish last week, by the way? Do you know?
19th.
You guys are
Did he really?
every week it's something new, and seeing now it jacked me up.
Well,
now,
that's
who you
quick.
taking, buddy?
Well, I was going to take Chase Elliott, but apparently I can't this week. Next week,
No.
I probably will be able to.
That's in the third and fourth round.
Right.
This is the fourth round.
I
I can't
know.
take it.
You can't in the third and fourth round.
You did 2 weeks ago.
No, we
in the
didn't.
third round. Yes, you did.
I don't recall
We
that.
took him in the second
Did it really
round.
Jaden,
stick? I don't know.
seriously.
But did it really stick? Because we
No.
thought
Yes,
it
no,
again.
it did.
I didn't think
it
it
did
stuck.
because they go, no, you can take a duplicate anytime you want.
I have the paperwork.
right.
You're on the clock, Doug.
Oh,
Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock.
this
They should select a
sucks
quarterback next year.
Sucks just like the Broncos.
now. Hey, at least we have a coach.
So bad.
All right. This is a bunch of crap. But I'm taking Matty D, and I hope he wins.
Good pick.
He would
That's
say
why I
that.
fell behind because I let my heart get in my way in the chase. I had to stick with Willie B.
I'm going to take the brother Bush.
Yeah, Kurt Busch. And I'm going to round it out with Mr. Alex Bowman.
Allie B. Good pick.
Yep.
I had this strategy all planned out, and then they changed the rules again, Jaden.
I'm just trying to remember if it stuck. I didn't think it stuck. I knew we
No,
argued.
it did stuck.
Did
It
it
did,
really?
yeah, because they're like,
That's
no,
crazy.
no. We said one duplicate.
What were we thinking?
And we
You
haven't
guys are
used it yet.
idiots.
No, we're not. You guys just make up the rules.
Yeah, I guess
Not
that's
true.
the benefit.
It's weird.
Well, it's not helping you to make up the rules, Tyler. You're in last place.
Watch out, Doug. You're knocking on the door.
I know, because I play by the rules.
No, you don't.
All right, what's
I
going on
like
in the
my
glass?
picks, by the way. I love them.
Look, I'm not too terrible.
Logano, Elliott, Reddick, and
I
Kurt
would've-
Busch.
I would have done something different in round 2 if I would have known that we were going
What's
to
going on
change
at
the
the
rules
glass man,
again.
Tyler?
Everything.
Ugh.
Windshields, back glasses, side glasses. This like the week of multiple pieces being broke out at one time, it seems like. But
Right.
Yesterday at 8 a.m., 2 Chevrolet pickups needed
About the
windshields
same
and back
year.
glasses. Both of them.
Both of them.
Front and
That's
rear.
weird.
And at the same time, we had a door glass knocked out of a Honda Civic
Yep.
Uh-huh.
and a windshield knocked out of a Camry. So we had all these in the shop at once.
Wow.
And, well, I don't think you could say
Are these
those.
people that are breaking into cars? I mean, what's
no, what-
happening?
Just bad luck, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, the guy, one was a fifth wheel deal. Broke the window
Oh,
type
yeah.
deal.
Well, that's great. And just marketing wise, how did all those people find us? Whether there was it Google and internet, word of
I
mouth?
believe 2 of them were Google, which is always
yeah,
kind
that's
of
up there. That's up
top
there. That's one of the top
One of them
three.
was sent by an agent.
That's
you know,
awesome.
one of those deals.
That's
and,
great.
One was a repeat customer of son's, dad. He
Wonderful.
Came in.
That's great.
You have to ask them how they found you.
We do every time.
Yeah, they do. They do a good job at that. I'll give them that. My son
Every time we
My
ask.
son says that's one of the biggest thing they do, and I think that goes back to the autograph days.
That's where it came
You
from,
know,
is, you know,
exactly.
one of
Just
the ideas
It's
Jay
important to
had.
know.
Make sure to
you know,
ask them how they heard from us.
Yeah.
And answer the phone.
There you go.
A lot of times, though, when they say Google,
Mm-hmm.
you need to see how they heard about you first to get to Google. You know, was it just a Google search, or
Right,
did they hear
right.
about you somewhere and typed your name in? How did they do
we
it?
follow
Because
the
a lot of people
Google-
always go, "Well, I just found you online." Well, okay, did something drive you there, or is
Right,
it?
because we have the pay-to-click ads out there
Yeah.
that they could be jumping on and stuff. So
So there's all kinds of stuff. How about you? You busy at Collision Works?
Yeah, we are. We really are. Most of the stores are all booked out. We can have it's all about scheduling. You know, trying to keep everybody busy and not be booked out too far.
All right, so Enduro at 81 Speedway this Saturday,
Yeah,
3
3
o'clock, and then the big race spectacular is coming up on the
Is it half price to get in for the Enduro race? I'm
Jaden,
assuming
it's free for you, buddy.
I hear you. All right.
Every
Half
race is
price.
free
It's
for
going to
you,
be a
buddy.
show.
It's going to be a show. They're going 58 miles an hour.
Just because the Chiefs are losing, you don't get in at half price, okay?
Maybe you should. I don't know.
If they're going to have a coupon day up at Arrowhead soon.
Yeah, buy one, get one.
We're going to need one.
All right, thanks, guys. Going to do it for the Glassman Collision Works pit crew on this Thursday. Back for a Friday edition of the Game Plan tomorrow. Got a lot to get to. We'll have our picks with Trevor Harris and Danny Stuckey. What else we got? Gary Guzman from Mays High is going to be on with us at 6:40. Mark Rogers from a Sports Animal down in OKC. So another busy Friday. We'll see you then.
It's time for your latest news